you guys have your Twitches up, you can see the overlay. Tell me what you think. I made. I mean,
Uh,
I don't want to say I made it myself. Now that artwork's mine, I totally stole it from everybody. But tell me what you think.
Looks good.
nice.
Yeah, pretty good. Okay, so hey, what's up? If you're here watching us live, boy, did you go to the wrong place. But we are the Lollygaggers Podcast, Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing some Shinobigami tonight, which is a kind of a quirky little one-shot type RPG. It's a modern ninja battle RPG. It's a little bit like a frenemies type game. There's a little PvP, not as much PvE. It's not your usual dungeon crawl, kill all sorts of different things. It's more we're just gonna kind of do like a story. Everyone's already made their characters and stuff, and so while I think what I'm gonna have everybody do is have them kind of go around, say hello, and to the listeners, say who you are, and while you're doing that, I'm going to secretly paste into your character sheets
Ooh.
your secrets finally, because now you're locked in. Your character's locked in. You can't change anything. Your skills are all picked, so you're good. So we're gonna start with Melissa. Go ahead and say who you are, what you do, and then tell us like maybe two or three things about your character, like clan or something like that.
Okay. I am Melissa. I am tonight playing Tina Takanawa. Tina is a reporter, or so her cover says. She is a member of the Hirosaka Agency. The main goal of the Hirosaka Agency as a clan is to kind of protect Japan. And they are really looking to kind of make sure that like Shinobigami and all of those things kind of stay hidden and away from the country and its citizens.
All right.
And I am 54.
54. Wow.
Whoa.
I am 54.
How did that happen?
Where did Tina is 54?
Where did the years go? Yeah. All right. Long. Why don't you tell us about you?
Hey, I'm Long. I am Morio Bando. I am in the Kurama Shin Clan. My goal is to prevent the rise of Shinobigami.
Do you know what Shinobigami are, Long? Did you actually?
Yeah, they're like the ninja gods.
Basically.
I mean, it's what it directly translates to as well.
Yep.
And then I'm 29, male. I am an athlete.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right. All right. So then let's go to Ashley.
Right. I'm Hina Sakugawa. She's from the Oni clan. The Oni clan is a little bit different because they pertain more to sorcery and they're not always entirely human or just ninja. And Hina is definitely on the weirder spectrum. She grew up in a graveyard. So yeah.
Okay. And then finally, Gabe. Gabe is the guy who looks like he's in green. One day we'll convince him to show his beautiful dimples, but not tonight. So Gabe, tell us about your character.
My character's name is Mokuzai Kugutsu, or you can just call me Moku.
I think I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, that's probably
Yep.
probably easier.
Yep.
I am part of the Lost Ones clan, and I work at a local children's hospital, entertaining children who are hospitalized.
Okay. Very, very cool. So I have now gone ahead and I've put everyone's secrets in place. So the way this game works, if you're unfamiliar with Shinobigami, each character at the start of a scenario is given two things. First of all, there's a mission, but the mission is a little bit more on the surface. But then every character gets a secret, and that secret could supplant what the outgoing or the sort of the suggested mission might be. It goes to sort of like a secret goal they're trying to accomplish. Maybe it might kind of go in line with whatever the major scenario goal is, or maybe it's something entirely different. The kind of the idea of these secrets is that they create weird little conflicts, both like dramatic and in battle and fights, duels and stuff here and there. So you all can go ahead and read yours. The secret cannot be shared with anybody voluntarily. There are specific rules in the game where the secrets might come into play, and we're going to make sure that we're not going to screw that up. So at certain points, people might be able to go ahead and learn each other's secrets, and if that's the case, you'll have to message each other privately, probably through like Discord or something, since all of you are on Discord together, because we don't want that actually coming out. Once every single player has learned the same secret, like if everybody learns Ashley's secret, for instance, then we'll go ahead and make it known to everybody in the group. And if we manage to get through the entire game without people's secrets coming to light, we will definitely reveal them in the epilogue at the end of the game. Ashley, I took a look at your character sheet. You can only have one Ogi. So Ogis, by the way, is something else that you have to keep secret. An Ogi in Shinobigami is basically like a super crazy, powerful ability that you really only want to use at a very opportune time. And if you try to use it when you might, when someone might be able to observe it, then that allows somebody later on in the game to try to break it. And normally an Ogi is like an auto hit. It auto works no matter what, unless somebody has seen your Ogi. And if that's the case, then they can try to break it. So you really want to keep that secret as well. There's going to be ways throughout the game that you will be able to learn different things, including people's locations or secrets, etc., etc. All of that will kind of come to light as the game is played. So because I didn't really do a kind of a regular introduction to what we're actually doing here, if you don't know us, if you just stumbled across us, we do a actual play podcast called The Adventures in Lollygagging, which you can find anywhere that you get podcasts. I think anywhere. If you can't find us, let me know, and I will figure out some other way to get it to you. But the system we use there is a game called Zweihander, but we want to try playing a couple other different systems. In Shinobigami, it was what I promised Long Lee. I said, I'm going to find us an anime-inspired RPG worth playing, and I have followed through on that. And I realized for the first stream that we're ever going to do, it maybe wasn't a good idea to play a game where I don't know how to pronounce anything in the game. But nonetheless, we're going to give it a try.
Can I get your guys' ages again? I know Melissa's 54.
Is it a requirement?
That's not actually hidden information. So the only thing that's actually hidden, the only real hidden information we have are the Ogi and your secret. That's really it.
I mean,
so,
unless you want it to be hidden, but I'm just curious.
We're going to find out really quickly in a second anyway,
okay.
as we do introductions. Maybe not the exact age, but we'll find out something basic about you as we do sort of introduction scenes. So Shinobigami works, it's structured around cycles and scenes. And so in the game itself that we're playing tonight, this scenario, there are going to be 3 cycles. And in each cycle, every one of the characters gets a chance to have kind of a spotlight scene where they're the focus of it. And there's one of 2 kinds of scenes that they can choose, and they have pretty heavy control over what goes into that scene. They could choose a drama scene, and that's just basically like a mini little role play moment. And where they try to perhaps learn secrets from other players that they might pull into the scene, or they try to heal if they took damage previously in the scenario. And then the other option is that they can do a battle scene. And a battle scene is when we actually abstractly start having some sort of fight. The battle scene is also a way to potentially learn some stuff about people, but only if you win that battle. During the course of the game, we might have battles, but they're not battles to the death throughout the main cycles. The battle to the death or to the end doesn't actually happen until the very, very end of the game. So we are playing a game called, the scenario we're playing is called The Dagger That Kills Gods. All right. So any questions before we get going? And that's from you, players. Any questions from you all?
Are we going to do more of an introduction, or can
Yes.
I ask for everybody what their cover is?
No. We're going to do that. There's a little introductory scenes that we'll do here to sort of set everything up. I need to get something to drink first, and then we can get going.
What's my HP?
Everyone starts with 6 unless you have specific Nimpo that adds extra, specific Nimpo that adds extra life points. So it's not actually HP, it's LP.
Okay.
So life points. And so if you took I think it's called a Nimbo called Tough, it gives you extra LP. And whenever you take damage, you'll you'll go ahead and take damage there first. All right. Okie dokie. So, here goes. All right, so the dagger that kills gods. So I have a little intro thing. So this is all set, by the way. Shinobigami is modern day Japan. Everyone's a ninja, but the ninjas that we have are basically like semi superheroes. They have access. Some of them have access to like really extreme martial arts. Some of them have access to crazy technology. Some of them have access to insane sorcery. But the whole premise of the game is that there is a war of shadows that's going on, and the war of shadows is sort of like this clan strife, but also the desire to keep the cover of this ninja world with superpowers, so that the regular world, all the innocents and the normal people that are in Japan or elsewhere, don't know that there's all these crazy, evil, bad things out in the world. So part of the game is making sure that you don't endanger innocents, and that you don't involve innocents, hurt innocents, or, and this is one of the worst things you can do, reveal the fact that you are a ninja to an innocent. Okay, so we are set in modern day Japan. A Tanto dagger has been found by archaeologists. The news has made some waves in the academic, historical, and collectors circles. Some of those circles are probably being monitored by your various clans. All of the various secrets and the spies and the information brokers are collecting that kind of info, keeping track for the possibility that these incredibly powerful artifacts that at some point in history were held or used or wielded or connected to the Shinobigami. Now, the dagger is currently being held in an underground bunker / cave beneath a grand Meiji shrine for restoration and analysis. Those that are in the know have heard whispers that this dagger is the legendary Kamakiri, or the god of mist. It's a dagger infused with the spirit of a kami, which has the power to slay gods. Those whispers have attracted the attention of every legitimate museum, shady black market collector, and of course, the heads of all the ninja clans. So, what we're going to start off with is we're going to do our little introduction phase. So, that is the background for our scenario. And so now what we do is we go around each character, and the way this game is played, gets a small little introductory scene that kind of establishes how they are tied to the particular scenario. So we're going to start with old Hina, Ashley. Ashley, so what are you doing on a normal day when Hina is not doing ninja business? That's today, right now. What is she doing? Paint a picture for us.
Hina's day job is she's a poet. So she hangs out in little cafes and stuff, and she does slam poetry. Really terrible slam poetry, mind you. She's not great at it. And oftentimes she gets enough money for a cup of coffee, maybe, but most of her money comes from doing contracts.
Okay. So I imagine that you are stepping off of this makeshift stage at some small little diner or small like coffee shop, and after reading your slam poetry, people were snapping left and right, and by people I mean like the other 4 or 5 people that are in there also reading poetry. And as you sit down by a small little table, enough for 2 people, but you're by yourself, the light from the windows is kind of coming in, and as you look down at the ground, you can see that your shadow suddenly begins to morph and change in ways that don't quite align with your own movements. Suddenly an arm begins to twitch and grow, maybe a second head begins to form, or a leg begins to shift, but it doesn't actually take any sort of physical shape. It all just remains as shadow. And you look around for a minute and you see that there's nobody else who seems to notice this, as there's the three people that were go ahead and snapping for you have all got up and to go get their coffee order or go to the bathroom, or they just flat out left, and you just have this little area of this coffee shop to yourself, and you hear a voice begin to echo in your ears that matches perfectly with the open and closing of a shadow. And it says, the elders have located an artifact that will attempt to let us try the ritual once more. They are entrusting you, Hina, with the task of retrieving it. Do not fail.
And Hina just kind of nods and says, understood.
And you see as the shadow begins to retract until once more it's your normal shadow, and the sound of really bad pop music begins to echo throughout your ears once more. We're going to turn our attention to Morio. So same question to you, Morio. What is Morio doing on just an average day? Nothing to do, not a care in the world. What are you up to?
Yes, so I am an athlete, specifically ping pong. So I coach recreationally at the center, teaching these kids how to master ping pong skills.
Okay. So are you teaching somebody right now? Is that what you're saying to me?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of like a session, just watching them play.
Okay. So as you're kind of leaning maybe against a wall, hands folded in approval of watching your pupils go crazy with their ping pong, you see another tutor who you don't entirely remember seeing before, but when he gets closer and he leans against the wall within just a few inches, your elbows nearly touching, you kind of see the profile of his face and realize you've seen him before. You recognize him. And while these children are just hitting back and forth and they start to scream at one another as they're arguing over some kind of point, you hear like a little breath kind of comes out of his voice, or out of his throat, as he says, "An artifact of immense power has been located, one that might again give rise to the Shinobigami. You, Morio, have the honor of ensuring this does not happen. Retrieve the artifact. Keep it secret. Keep it safe." And then he kicks off against the wall with his foot and just wades between these kids fighting over a ping pong ball that's bouncing around on the table effortlessly, as if there's no difficulty whatsoever for him to navigate through such a small throng.
My inner monologue. Normally I wouldn't do this without a match, but this sounds like fun.
All right. Next up, we have, what's your name again? Is it Trisha or Tina?
Tina.
Okay. It's not Trisha Takanawa? No? That's not what you're doing?
No.
Okay.
Tina.
So Tina, what are you doing? Normal day. What's going on?
So Tina is a reporter, and she's an investigative reporter. So she's, going to be likely at some sort of business, kind of interviewing, kind of a business that has got some rumors going around about kind of what they're doing. So she's out there asking the hard questions, kind of the, microphone in someone's face when they're getting out of their car at work, kind of that local news, bring us your problems and we'll get them solved for you, kind of a personality.
Okay. So as you are going about the hustle and bustle, you get a text message on your, what I'm assuming to be is a very fancy and advanced cell phone. Do you have any, is there a particular wallpaper on the cell phone? Anything of note?
Ooh, I would say that the wallpaper would be, the first thing that popped in my mind is like a microfiche. Like she's super into research and looking things up. And that's what popped in my head. So I'm going to say that's what it is.
Yeah, that's, she's really old. Okay, so So as you bumble and try to figure out the text message,
What was my password? What did I reset my password
Right.
to?
You see that it is from a number you recognize, and it likely just has like initials, probably just like BM or something like that. And you see all that's inside of it. The text message is merely an address, and it says a time, 30 minutes. And you know the address to be a parking structure that is nearby. It's a very large parking structure. A lot of people park there during the day. No one's really in there, so during a busy day like this, it's unlikely anyone will find you there. And as you go inside, you go up to like the third or fourth floor, and you're just walking around as periodically you get additional text messages that direct you to somewhere to go. And eventually you stop and you hear a voice shout out to you or whisper out to you, "Over here." And you go over to that shadow and you see this kind of younger woman, pale, a little twitchy. And she says to you, "You said if I ever had any information that you would pay, right? You would pay." Well,
Yes, absolutely. And I'll go for my wallet.
okay. And she says, "Well, I was in my normal spot by the Magi shrine, and well, it was very late at night, and all of a sudden, these men and women in suits and sunglasses in the middle of the night came and ushered us away. And they said we couldn't come back. We have to go away. And then I saw that there were these large men that were carrying a very small box, but they were surrounding it as if it was like the most important thing in the world. But that's something that's worth something, right? Right?"
Yeah, absolutely. And so I'll kind of decide the value of that information and, kind of give her, just say like, good work. Always, you bring all
Sure.
of these things to me first.
And so later, as you're kind of checking in with your clan elders, verifying the information, they fill you in and they say that it's likely that is what's been going through the various information brokers, the hint that there's this powerful artifact, this god of mists, and that they're tasking you with inquiring and finding it, your clan elders. And if you're ever expected to go national, you must succeed at this task. Then we're gonna turn to Moku. How you doing, Moku? What's going on?
Doing all right, and I appreciate your Gandalf Lord of the Rings reference.
Thank you, buddy. I knew someone to see. This is great. I normally make references when we play, and no one gets them ever. So it's great to have somebody who gets the reference. So all right, what's Moku doing? It's a normal day. What do you got?
Right now, he's in the middle of going through one of his stories with the children. You know how you have those the little mini stage set up with the puppets, and he's doing his puppeteering behind it, and just telling one of those cliche, good versus evil stories to the children to hopefully make their days better.
Okay. So one of the children, I would say especially, you have grown a bit attached to. It's all very tragic. There's some sort of illness that has befallen her, and she's just never getting better. The doctors seem perplexed. They don't know what it is. They're unsure how to treat it. They've called for specialists, for all sorts of people to show up to try to help, but they have not yet been able to determine what it is. But even though you don't necessarily have much knowledge in medicine, you're familiar with some of the telltale signs that this illness is likely caused by the child's exposure, or at least within close proximity, to some sort of special Shinobigami related artifact that likely was attempted to be used in a ritual and sort of exploded and gave out some sort of terrible negative energy. And although you know in your heart that there's probably nothing you can do for this child, you did hear from some of your fellow wanderers and drifters that another artifact has been located. And not only has it been located, it's being held not even a block away from a a school for young children, and you know that should anything go wrong, those children would be the first to feel the after effects. And somewhere deep inside you're like, no, not again. Not like this young child. We'll call them Yawa. There will not be more Yawas tonight. Okay.
Little Yawas.
Little Yawas. And so that is the introductory phase. All right. No rolling, just sort of introducing things, seeing how it's going. All right. So now we dive into the main phase. So there's, like I said, there's drama scenes, there's battle scenes, but there's also these things called master scenes. And that's where I get to paint the picture, set the scene. So imagine this. It's pre-dawn. There's a starless black night. It's a quiet summer night. Underneath this grand Meiji shrine in this rocky and dark cavern, protected by all sorts of the most advanced locks and alarms, both physical and mystical, sits Kamakiri, the god of mist. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a picture. Those are the players themselves of what this actually looks like. This is what you're fighting over. You want to check your roll 20s. At least that's what it would look like. That's what it would look like in its full form. Beautiful and glowing, almost like mist unto itself. The blade, the light blue, bluish gray. It almost has this ethereal quality to it. But right now, the dagger, the blade is not showing because it's rested in its protective sheath, which in itself is very ornate and beautiful and probably worth millions and millions and millions. And it rests on this small protective altar of smooth stone, and it's surrounded by candles and lit braziers. And I'm going to go ahead and give you set that little picture here. This very ornate and well-guarded alcove at the bottom. Sorry, I just clicked that wrong. Now, it rests on this altar, surrounded by candles. It's a bit dirty still, as the restoration is only half complete, but the cool majesty emanating from the dagger is unmistakable. This is the type of weapon that could change the very destiny of Japan. As we're watching, as the camera is zooming closer and closer in on that altar, creeping out from the wall, unbeknownst to the guards, there is a shadow approaching. The candles suddenly snuff out. The braziers themselves flicker to the point where the flames themselves barely give off any light. A little bit, enough to see two hands gingerly reach out. Hands that we have seen before. Hands that we have seen crossed and leaning against the wall while watching young children play ping pong. And those hands lift the dagger from its altar. There's a deep and reverent silence that fills the room for the span of 2 heartbeats. And then alarms scream through the cavern. Lights, sirens, mystical words begin to cascade, all begin to activate around the shrine. Armed guards spill into the underground bunker from all sorts of different locations. But the shadow has already made its way to the edge. Morio is climbing over top of a wall as the spotlights begin to erupt and sort of searching after them as if it's like a prison break, scouring the forest and the walls surrounding the shrine. But Morio is quickly able to scale and leap over the tall and barbed wired wall, escaping into the night. So Morio, if we were playing normally in the sense if we were playing at a table, this is where I would slide a piece of paper over to you indicating that you have the prize, which is you have the dagger. And so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start. And so I'm going to go ahead and begin with Melissa, because you're on my screen, you're to my left. And so we're going to go around and around. And what this means is that when it's your turn to go, you are going to pick, do you want to do a drama scene or do you want to do a battle scene? Well, battle scenes you can only do with a character that you know the location of. And since this is the very beginning of the game, you don't really know any locations. So you're probably going to start with a drama scene. A drama scene is going to allow you to have a small little role play moment. And then you'll be able to roll a check and potentially gain some information. So basically, I'm assuming drama scene. Then you're not going to go ahead and suddenly start attacking yourself. Is that fair?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. All right. So in this game, players get to describe exactly where their scene takes place, and they can kind of pull in whatever they want, wherever they want to be. They can go ahead and include other characters if they want. It could be NPCs that they can create on the spot. I can create NPCs. Or you can pull in other player characters if they say it's okay. So where and how would you like to begin your drama scene?
And how many rounds of this are we gonna be able to do?
We'll see. The goal is 3. We'll see how long that takes. We might, if it seems like we're going on really long and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, we're totally going to cut this down to 2 cycles, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, now that I know kind of the setting of everything that's going on, can I...
If you're really struggling, one of the things you're able to do is, if you look in our resources, there's some rolling charts.
Yes.
One of those is the scene chart. You can roll 2d6, add them together, and that'll give you kind of a starting point, and we just sort of improv it from there.
I have an idea of something that I want to do.
Okay.
With another player.
Okay. Who do you want to do it?
I would like to do that with Moku.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay.
And I need to get to my sheet here.
Where is this taking place? Where are we at?
So this is going to be at the hospital.
Okay.
All right. I'll worry about my skills in a second. So to set the scene, I am a bit displeased at the moment. I enjoy investigative reporting. That's really what I want to do. Kind of the hard-hitting questions, the tough questions, the answers, and whatever. And I have been told that I need to kind of work on my image a little bit and kind of do a little bit more of kind of like a fluff piece. So I've been assigned to go out to the hospital and kind of highlight the positive work with the kids that's happening at this hospital. So that's sort of the reporting that I'm doing for the day. This is really not what I want to be doing, but I'm kind of going around the hospital, interviewing different people at the hospital, tell me all about, kind of what's going on. Because I am who I am, I'm going to kind of put my own spin on that because I'm still an investigative reporter. But kind of I would be at the hospital. I would be going around talking, I've done my sit down with the administrators to tell me all about the cool programs that they have and everything that they want to get out into the news. I'm wandering around and then I'll kind of see Moku kind of in action with the kids.
Okay.
Okay.
So what do you say to
him? So I will kind of wait for, I'm going to play off of kind of that puppet show type of thing that you kind of described doing at work. And I'll wait and I'll do the over enthusiastic, like, oh yeah, that was great. Oh, kids, wasn't he so good? And then, kind of pull Moku aside and say, tell me about, how did it come to be that you were working here doing this great work with these kids?
He kind of looks at you very hesitantly and he tells the kids while he's packing up his puppets that if they could step away and we can continue the story at another time. And the kids, walk away and he's quickly kind of putting away his puppets and packing up the scene and everything, and he's dropping puppets all over the place. He's a little nervous, and finally, when he gets his things together, he says, "I do this because I want to make sure that the kids are happy, even though the sickness that some of them have to deal with I realize some of them aren't going to make it, and my job is to just make them happy because I myself would like to be happy, and making the
Oh,
children happy makes me happy.
that's just such amazingly good work. And I mean, I don't know how you just don't go home every day, just, being so, thankful that you got to do all of this good work, with these kids. It's just amazing. And it must just fill you with so much happiness to know that you're bringing a smile to their face every day.
I try to. I know that at the end of the day that they're going to go back to their beds and they're going to see the same doctor day in and day out. But I'm hoping that my new stories will bring happiness to them, and at least it'll allow me to sleep at night, knowing that they have something to look forward to the next day.
At this point, like a hospital orderly or an official kind of comes up to you, the two of you, and they say, "I'm sorry to interrupt, but visiting hours are closed. We're going to be clearing the wing, so if you could hurry it along, that would be great. The children need to rest."
So
you get to decide what skill. So have you decided what skill you're trying to do? Okay.
Yep.
So there's a whole
point,
mess load of skills in Shinobigami. So let me just explain. There's a bunch of different skills, and so at the end of, and so sometime during every drama scene, whoever's turn it was to do the drama scene. In this case, it's Tina. She has to roll a check, a skill check. If she passes, there's a couple options that she could potentially get, and yeah, we'll go. So what is the skill you're going to be using?
Okay. So the skill that I'm going to be using is Inception.
Okay.
So Inception, to describe the skill, Inception is influencing others by planting ideas, suggestions, or thoughts in their minds, also mind hacking.
I like it. Okay, go ahead and roll it. Should it be all loaded up on your character screen, on your character sheet?
Okay, so I am...
All I gotta do is click right on the square in the skill grid. And Shinobigami, like, there's this matrix of skills. There's 6 different categories of skills, and each one of them has a bunch of skills. And the difficulty of each check is based on how far away, what you're trying to do is from what skill I'm kind of calling for. But in the drama scene, it makes sense what she's asking to do. She's trying to implant an idea, and she's using Inception. So the target was a 5 difficulty. You rolled an 8. That is a success. So what idea are you trying to implant then?
Okay, so I'm going to roll with what Moku said about, wanting to be helpful and, helping out the kids. And I'm going to say, what else, really, makes you sleep well at night, knowing you've done good work is, sharing information, when you find out about secrets. I mean, you don't want to, have secrets weighing on you. So if you, ever have any tips, about this kamakiri, you would definitely want to, give me a call and tell me about that.
Okay. All right. So you get to decide then. You succeeded at your check. You implanted your idea. When you succeed at your check in the drama scene, you can choose between a recovery, so try to get health back. You can try to get some information out of Gabe, or you can try to form an emo bond with him. What do you want to try to do? All right. You've already succeeded. So what are you going to do?
What am I going to do? Let's do an emo bond. What are the choices for emo bonds?
So emo bond, you both have to roll. So if you take a look on your character sheet, you should see an emo bond option. So both of you can go ahead and roll that. So Gabe got either admiration or inferiority, and Melissa, you got empathy or mistrust. So you both get to pick. So you get to decide. So, Melissa, do you want to feel empathy towards Gabe, or do you want to feel mistrustful towards him?
Given kind of how he described this, like he tries to do all of this work and still doesn't seem to feel good, I'll go with empathy.
Okay. And then Mr. Moku, what are you feeling towards Tina? Do you feel admiration, or do you feel a sort of inferiority?
Admiration.
Okay, so then you can go ahead and go into your character sheets under the section of the character sheet where you can write in like your people's relationships. Just mark that the two of you now have an emo bond and write down what emo bond you have. Okay. All right, next up, I'm just going to continue kind of just going around based upon what I have, is Morio. Not to be confused with Mario. It's you,
Howdy.
Mario. Okay. So, again, drama scene for you because there's really no battle scenes you can do just yet. What are you thinking? Where are we at?
Let's roll it. Let's see what we got.
Okay, go for it.
5.
You can actually roll it directly on that. I think you can. There is a scene button on the character sheet. You can do.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, I'll hit that.
Yeah, whoever built this sheet did a pretty good job. Okay. Buildings stretch out in rows below you. You're on a rooftop, it seems.
I am on a rooftop.
You can see across
Okay.
the whole city. Maybe the Meiji Shrine is part of what you see from this rooftop. Maybe the hospital as well. Is there somebody in this scene with you that you would like to join?
Yeah, let's bring in Hina.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see.
Remember that part of this game is that you guys are investigating and trying to acquire that dagger in different ways, and then you have your own secret stuff as well. But the cool thing with this game is that you can pretty much say whatever you want and just say so very much like Hina, if you wanted to. You don't have to, of course. You can say that your clan knows that he has it. If not, you can decide to be in the dark. It's entirely up to you. It's whatever you want.
I'd say once we got into contact, the shadows would tell me if he has it or not.
Okay. All right. So, does she sneak up on you, or do you see her coming?
She sneaks up on me while I'm overviewing the city, thinking about the aftermath of what taking his dagger would happen.
And do you say anything to him to surprise him, Hina?
Excuse me, sir, this is private property.
How'd you get up here?
I live in the apartment below, and you're making a lot of noise.
I'm sorry, I was just lost in my thoughts.
On my apartment roof? Do you often get up on rooftops?
It's my natural habitat.
Are you a bird?
No, but very comfortable and calming up high.
It is a very beautiful view, I'll give you that.
Let's see.
So what are you trying to accomplish? What skill are you looking to use? What are you trying to accomplish in this scene? Let the skill that you want to use kind of be what dictates sort of what happens, basically.
Mhm.
My name's Hina. What's your name? And she reaches out to shake your hand.
I am Morio. I'll return the shake. And then
It's likely that the two of you feel this weird supernatural ethereal vibe begin to course through you. Maybe you're not entirely sure that you're both ninjas, but you definitely have this you're definitely aware that there's something about the other. Maybe not suspicious, but something more than meets the eye, perhaps. So, what do you want to try to what skill do you want to try to check there, Morio?
I'm not really sure. Can you throw out some ideas so I get a good idea?
So if you're looking to get an emo bond with her, you can look at one of the more social scheming type tactics, right? Maybe, or or if you were sort of looking to learn a secret. From
I'll do
her.
bluff.
Okay.
I'll do try to get something out of her, pretend maybe I'm not looking or don't know much about this dagger or something like that.
Okay, sure. All right, go ahead and roll your bluff check. For you, that's not one of the skills you have, so it's slightly more difficult, but still not that difficult for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I fumbled.
If that's not a fumble, that's just a fail.
I'll fail.
Yeah, fumble in drama scenes is basically snake eyes. So what is it you say, knowing that you kind of blew this bluff check, it didn't work out the way you wanted? What is it you say, and how does Hina catch on?
So you've heard the dagger's been taken, right?
And Hina just kind of nods. She's like, yeah, I can kind of view it like right there. That's the view from my apartment.
Okay. And so you realize that the jig is up at this point. A swift gust of wind comes coursing over the rooftops, causing Hina to kind of look away, her hair and her shadows kind of flapping around her. And you take this as a sign, an opportune moment that whatever information you are hoping to get from her, she's a little wise to your plan. And you just leap off the building and start climbing down out of sight. And by the time Hina turns around, Morio is no longer there. Okay, next up is Moku.
So obviously I'll be doing the drama scene, but I guess my scene, you said that I got word of the artifact at a local school, like just one block
nearby.
down.
Yeah,
nearby.
It's nearby. If anything bad were to happen, if the supernatural energies were to suddenly explode or something, it has the possibility of it would definitely be within the blast radius, so to speak.
Okay, and that's because that school is located next to
right down the street.
Okay,
yeah, right there.
Okay, I guess my setting will then be that school.
Okay.
And I will bring Morio.
Okay. So, Morio, are you cool with that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So, what time of day is it? Is it morning, nighttime, afternoon? Where are we at?
We'll go with nighttime.
Okay. So, it's likely that the school doesn't have a lot of people. There's probably a skeletal janitorial staff and such, and maybe a couple teachers working late.
I'll be walking out of the gym after like cleaning it and organizing it.
Okay. Do you have little like gym shorts on?
Yeah, I'm in my gym attire.
Good.
Or like jumpsuit.
Band. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so what? And so Moku, what does he see you doing? What are you doing when you kind of encounter Morio, when you see him or he sees you?
I'll be staring into one of the larger windows, looking into an empty classroom.
Okay.
Not creepy.
Oh, excuse me, sir. You're waiting for someone.
While staring into the classroom still, he says no, but something's wrong. And then he turns around and looks at Morio.
It's been a quiet night. I've just been cleaning up, and there shouldn't be anyone left here.
And then I start to walk closer to Morio, not running, but walking pretty slowly. And I say, I heard that. But at this point, does everybody know who has, just out of character, does everyone know who has the dagger?
It's entirely up to you. If you want to know that he has the dagger, you very well could just make a simple excuse and be like, your clan figured it out, and they, and some other person that you have a contact with notified you that there was this guy wearing gym clothes who was carrying had a bulge in his pants that could only be the god of mists.
Okay.
So
it doesn't have to be like logical or anything. It can just be, I know that.
Nope.
Okay.
You can do whatever the hell you want. If it goes too far, I'll let you know.
Okay. And then in walking towards him slowly, I say, amongst the commotion that occurred at the temple the other day, or wherever the artifact was located, I'm not sure. I overheard that you were spotted on the rooftops, and you might be the cause of what's gone wrong in the area.
What do you mean, what's gone wrong?
With how close the artifact that you supposedly stole is affecting the local children, and it is making them sick based on the pure aura that artifact that you supposedly stole holds.
I don't like how you're accusing me. And what do you mean, sickness? I don't see anything wrong. These kids are healthy. They're coming to school.
You might not see it, but I see it every day. And then I'll I'll do a roll of sleight of hand.
Oh, okay. Okay. Go for it.
I have to get my window set up here. Okay. So then I just click the.
Just click up right on the name. Sleight of hand. Okay, that is a success. Ooh. Are you trying to steal the God of Mist?
I am trying to. Yeah, I would like to try and steal it. Yes.
Okay. So as you kind of walk past him, getting ready to leave, kind of going your different ways, you do that classic, just bump into a person, slip your hand into his pocket or his bag, take out what you can, and you think you have something. And it isn't until about 10 minutes later, when you look down in your hand, you realize that it was just a fake dagger. It's just a regular mundane dagger that he happened to be carrying around, and unfortunately not the God of Mists.
It was my ping pong paddle.
I like it. So you have one ping pong paddle.
And I noticed it's missing when I got home. Like, wait, it's my championship winning paddle.
Now, you still succeeded on your check, which means you get a choice. You can get you can get a piece of information from him, so it means you can learn his secret, or you can learn his location. If you learn his location, that means at any point in time later in the game, you can choose to do a battle scene with him, or you can try to form an emo bond with him. The idea of taking a prize is something that only can actually be done in a battle scene. But you still succeeded on your check, so you do get a benefit.
Okay. Then I'll learn the location.
Okay. So then all you gotta do is go into your character sheet where you have the list of people, and you just say location, yes or known or whatever you want to do, because you now know it.
Wait, where do I go for that?
It should be at the very bottom of your character sheet. There's a place where it says names, and you just list the characters' names and just right next to it. Okay. And then finally, for the last of the first cycle, it is our sorceress lady, Hina. What you thinking? Hina? Where are we at?
I'm thinking that I would have followed Morio when he ran from me.
Okay.
So we're probably running towards the school.
Okay.
And what Hina's going to do is she's going to do korodama. And she's got a little slip of paper that she wrote this symbol for friendship on.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to slap it on his back.
Okay. So you want to explain what korodama is?
So korodama is a nimpo where basically you write just like a simple kanji or character standing for like open or friendship or stuff like that, and then if you attach it to something, it basically gives you that effect.
It's just a skill, though. I don't think it's actually a nimpo.
Oh yeah, it's just a skill.
By the way, you all can use ninpo in drama scenes if you want. So take a look at your support ninpo. There's some of them that might allow you to use them in drama scenes. So just keep an eye on that. Some of them might give a boost to a roll, that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind. Okay, so go ahead and roll your
so
check.
How would I roll like one of the, like if it was like, if I did like a skill? Because I already rolled with my korodama.
Yeah, and you're good. You passed it.
Okay, cool.
And that is your skill. So you don't actually have to use one of your assigned skills. You just pick a skill. And so it made a lot of sense. As long as what you're describing, what you're doing with the skill isn't so outrageously different than what the skill is meant for, you're most likely fine. You can just roll that skill. Okay. There might be times when I might ask for something else instead. But in this particular case, it makes perfect sense. Okay, so you passed. So this means that you can gain a benefit. Do you want to do an information? You want to gain some information? Do you want to get an emo bond? What do you want to do?
I think because I'm going for friendship, I want to try and get an emo bond.
Okay, so both of you go ahead and roll your emo bonds. Who were you with again? Who was that?
Morio.
Okay, so go ahead. Morio. Okay, so Hina, you can choose between friendship or anger. And then Morio, you can choose between affection or envy.
Let's do affection.
Yeah, I'm going to do friendship.
Okay. So how does this play out then? You slap him on the back with this piece of paper that sort of sinks into his body sort of and changes his emotion. So how does this play out between the two of you? Give me a minute's worth of good role play.
All right, after jumping off the building and doing aerial parkour and landing on my feet perfectly, I thought I got away, but someone slaps me on the back, and I'm startled.
And Hina just kind of like rose from shadows, as startling as that is. And she just kind of looks at him and she goes, "You know, it's really rude to just like bolt like that. I thought maybe we could have caught like lunch or something."
I wasn't feeling safe anymore. I had to go.
Well, I mean, and then Hina kind of like looks around to make sure that there's no like civilians around. I don't know what clan you're from. You're not from mine. But we are looking for, you know, friends. We're always open for friendship. Like,
I can be a friendly guy at times.
and then Hina kind of nods and she goes, "Let's go get lunch or something. I'll buy you ramen."
Okay.
My eyebrows perk up as I hear ramen.
Okay.
I'm like, yes, anytime.
All right. Perfect. So the two of you head off to a nearby ramen restaurant. That's probably why you went to the gym later. Had to work that off. Got to get those carbs off.
That's why you got that affection.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of the first cycle. Everyone's got something. Everyone passed with the exception of Morio. So everyone kind of learned a little bit of information, got some emo bonds, etc. So now, one of the things with emo bonds, so if you have an emo bond with somebody, whenever a person that you have an emo bond with learns a piece of information, so that's the secret, the location, or an ogi, you immediately learn it as well. It doesn't chain, so if like right now we've got Hina and we've got Morio with emo bonds, if Hina was to learn like the location of Moku, that means that Morio automatically gets to learn it as well. So, but it does not chain. So if somebody else that you have an emo bond with has like kind of learns it, you don't also get to learn it too. So it's like it only kind of
It's like no Inception sort of thing. It's just one level.
it doesn't daisy chain is basically the idea. It's just the one
So
level.
then in this scenario, since I know Morio's location, because I have an emo bond with Tina, then Tina then knows Morio's location.
Did you form the bond? And you formed the bond first, right? Because
Correct. We had the scene before.
So, exactly. So Tina, you can go ahead and go into your character sheet, scroll down, and you now know Morio's location.
Like he can learn it even though he wasn't here.
What's that? Well, in your scene with Morio, when you were in the
right,
he learned a location from you, and he had already formed an emo bond.
Okay, yeah.
So she learns it. By the way, I really like the names that you guys did for me. We've got Hina, Tina, Moku, and Morio. Really nice, guys. Really great. Thanks. I'm old. Don't you know this? I turned 23 a couple weeks ago, so everything's going bad. All right. So that's the end of the first cycle. As you all are heading to your various places of residence, you know that there's a ticking clock on this. As you're passing around in the streets, as you're sitting in the restaurants eating your dinner, you can see that there's all sorts of interesting looking figures that are trying to be stealthy, that are trying to be nonchalant, but you know quite certainly that these are guards starting to fan further and further out from the Meiji Shrine. And you see them, they're dressed in their normal kind of suits and almost look like Men in Black types. They're kind of casing the streets. Some of them are coming inside restaurants and sitting down and inspecting, looking at people. Every now and then you see a random stranger get stopped on the street and someone's bag is taken and they look through it and then they throw it back, and you can hear a person yelling, "How dare you do this to me?" And you can see that tensions are rising. But 24 hours now have passed, and the dagger has not yet been claimed, has not been recovered. And you know that is just a matter of time. Those of you who are aware who currently carries it, before their clan support comes to recover it. So we're going to start cycle 2. So we're going to start with Tina again, back to the top. So you can do drama scene, you can do battle scene. Mm-hmm. And now you actually could conceivably, not saying you should, but could conceivably do a battle scene since you do know someone's location. What would you like to do?
I'm going to do a drama scene.
Okay, who would you like to be involved in this scene?
Hina.
Okay.
So
You can choose to say no, by the way. You can always say no if you don't want your
Oh, yeah,
character.
that's fine.
Okay. So where are we at? Where are we at, Tina and Hina? Killing me, Smalls.
we are at the coffee shop where Hina does her slam poetry.
My like 8th grade emo level slam
Mhm.
poetry.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see How I Married an Axe Murderer? I think it was called. You ever see that? Anyone?
No.
I'm dating myself. As a 23-year-old, I saw this movie with Mike Myers, but he was a poet in San Francisco, and he used to do like poems, and he'd be like, Harriet, sweet Harriet, so loving, so trusting. It was great. It's fantastic. Everyone go watch I Married an Axe Murderer. It's a underrated gem. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
No worries. Thanks for the stall.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. It's quite literally what I do. There we go. So love it. Someone's seen it.
Okay, so I'm basically going to do exactly that I'm going to go kind of as one of the other folks, and I'm going to do a absolutely horrible that I'm not going to RP effect or attempt at, kind of participating in kind of the poetry thing.
Oh my goodness.
Not RPing it.
I think I'm going to require you to actually, on the spot, think of a poem. By the way, just in all seriousness, you don't have to RP anything. Your drama scenes, you're in control. You're the player. So if you really just want to just describe something your character is doing, that's fine. Like, you don't even have to. But we just do it just for funsies. But you're welcome to embellish as little or as much as you like.
I sneak my way into the shop as she gets on stage.
Okay. All right. Just sitting in the back. Maybe they probably don't notice you, so they don't even realize you're there. But go ahead. So how does the crowd react to your poem?
Kindly. I would say you sort of get the like, oh yeah, that's not good, but we've all been there at some point. So
they clap for you. They don't actually snap. Okay.
Oh no, snapping.
Yeah, they just
think it
clap.
might-
They're like,
golf clap.
yeah, golf clap it.
I think in my head that the second graders at school come up better with haikus and the.
Oh, sick bird.
damn.
What was can you tell us what the poem was about at least?
It was the worst possible overly rhyming love poem that you can,
Okay.
Roses
Roses are red.
violets are blue. Yeah.
I'm not a ninja and neither are you. There you go.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes,
no reason to be suspicious. Okay.
that type of thing, exactly. And that was really just to sort of try to blend in. But then afterward, she's going to go over to Hina, and say that I've been here a few times before, and you're just fantastic at what you do, and I can only hope that someday if I just keep coming here and just keep writing something every week and trying it out, maybe I can be like you someday.
And Hina's kind of like confused because she knows the stuff she performs here isn't super great. It's so she's just like, so she turns and she kind of looks at you and she goes, well, I do have a book. If you
Is
would
it self-published?
like to." Yes,
Sorry,
actually.
that was mean.
Published on Amazon.
There you go. There you go.
And you should really check that out sometime. Maybe that'll help you with your writing.
What's it called?
So loved.
Okay. Thief. All right. So what check are we doing there, Tina Takanawa?
So Tina is basically doing manipulation, trying to kind of be insta besties with Hina.
Okay. All right. So let's see. You said you were doing. What you said you were doing?
I think it's manipulation.
Okay.
Is what I'm.
I want to go performance, right? Like you were.
That's what I
That's
was
fine.
thinking.
I'm
I can
thinking
do performance.
I'm thinking
Okay.
performance. Yeah.
Performance it is.
Okay, go for it.
It's not letting me.
I don't
Do it.
know. It sounds like you're on a very slow moving train. Let me take a look. Hang on. All right, you're doing performance.
Yeah.
There you go. I just rolled it for you. And
Oh,
boy,
you
did
rolled that on me, I think.
oh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't see
like
it.
I said,
Oh,
Hina
already.
and Tina. Oh, God, killing me, killing me.
I was Hina first.
You were.
It's
You
true.
were.
What was your
There's a story behind Melissa's.
Same thing.
Oh wow. Okay, so you did fail.
Why am I not seeing it?
It's right underneath Inception.
No, I know, but I'm not seeing the results of the roll.
Are you in the right tab? Are you in the chat tab?
I am in the chat tab.
You might have to reload the
down.
window. I had
Just
to do that.
reload the window. Every
Okay.
now and then, Roll20 can kind of
Okay.
get a little glitchy.
It might be why pressing the button wasn't working. So.
Okay. I mean, I'll let you roll it since it is your character. So if you can get it to work, it's yours. If you can't get it to work, we're going with that 3.
Stakes are high.
Let me.
Oh yeah.
See another 3 and you die.
If there is 3,
Oh,
I do
look
think
at
she,
you.
I think she does. I think she does die. I think it's true. That is house rule. Look at you,
Oh, there you
clutch.
go.
Oh my
The
goodness.
Clutch 7. Just barely getting it. All right. What do you want from her? What are you trying to get?
I am trying to. No cheat sheet here. I am looking to get.
It's information.
I can do secret, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, secret.
So if you succeed at your check in a drama scene, which you just did, you can
Yes.
choose any character that doesn't actually have to be in the scene. You can roll a check to learn their character's secret, which you've already succeeded, and then you can go ahead and mark that on the people chart. So are you trying to?
And we're insta besties because I
Okay.
succeeded in my role.
So are you trying to get? Hina's secret then? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, mine. Okay.
Okay. So then, actually, go ahead and message her in like Discord or something with it. So it
She
doesn't
did.
come
I
up.
got it.
Also, I believe Moku and Tina are friends as well, correct? They have an emo bond?
Yes.
Oh yeah, so he learns as
So,
well, huh?
info share, whenever a character learns a piece of information, any characters towards whom they hold an emo bond automatically learn that same piece of information. So, please go ahead and also message Moku as well. Got it? You got it, Gabe?
Yes.
All right. Good deal. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and move down to Morio. Your turn. What do you want to do for your second cycle scene?
Let's see.
It's so dark.
It's so dark. Huh.
What are you whispering?
Let's see. I'm whispering.
Sweet nothings into Hina's ears because you two really got along after the ramen. So what's going on?
I mean, the darkness would make sense with Hina.
Sorry. That whatever you want to have happen is what happens. So where are we at? Where do you want to be? What time of day? Where are we at? And who do you want to have this scene with?
Well, it's clearly nighttime. It's so dark out.
Okay.
It's a cold night as well.
Okay.
I
Even though
was
it's strange for summer. Yeah. I know.
Yes, it's just a strange cold night in the summer.
Must be the magic of the god of mist beginning to permeate the blocks around the Mage shrine.
I'm whispering, condemning the Oni clan.
Interesting.
Mm.
And who is in the scene with you?
Trying to get Tina.
Okay.
Just taking a walk
Are you
Maybe I spotted.
Are you stalking her in the shadows?
because she was making so friendly with Hina earlier in the day. I had a stalker.
Okay. All right. Do you want
Stealing your new best friend.
Okay. We want to do some kind of stealth check. Stealth is a category. Do you want to do some sort of stealth to see if you can successfully keep her from noticing you?
Would that be concealment or
That's fine.
invisibility?
Any of those, I think invisibility would work. I think concealment would work. That's fine. Yep.
All right.
Or disguise, even if we could say that you have a Groucho Marx glasses on. She just has no idea who you are. Covered in ramen noodles.
No.
Oh my god.
Oh.
So
That's a fumble, right?
that is a fumble.
Come on.
So you're rolling terrible. So in this game, when you roll 2 1s on your 2d6s, this game is basically a 2d6 game. You fumble. So during drama scenes, a fumble is a 2, and let's see, you have to roll a 1d6 on the fumble chart. So if you look on your character sheet, you should see a fumble table die. So go ahead and roll that. Okay. So information leak. Every other character can learn either your location or your secret or one of your secrets. Spoiler alert, there's only one secret for everybody because it's their first game and I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Everyone knows my location now.
I wonder, I'm not sure who chooses. Every other character can learn either your location or your secret. Or one of your secrets if you have more than one. Who do we think should get to control this? It's a good...
I think we should roll for it.
Let's do this. We'll do, I'm going to roll a percentile die. 1 to 50, he can choose what they learn. And then 51 to 100, you all can choose what you learn. 54, you all can choose. So which do you want from him? Secret or his location?
I vote secret.
No. You pick it yourself. Each character picks it themselves.
Oh, I want
Oh,
secret.
they
'cause
pick
I
it
already know
differently?
location.
Yeah, it's a little unclear. I'm just going to go with that for now. That sounds like fun. And it'll make Longley even more of a target than he already is.
Oh boy.
So, who wants his secret?
I want his secrets.
I also want his secret.
Yeah, I think we all want his secret.
All right.
All right,
I'll just
so-
let it out there now.
So yeah, go ahead and tell
Yeah.
the stream since everyone's going to know.
So let's see. While keeping the god of mist is the utmost importance, my clan is particularly nervous about a certain other clan's plans with the dagger. So as such, I must defeat Tina in combat before or during the climax phase.
They're particularly suspicious of what you government types are going to do with this power. That's what's going on. Okay. And that is as this scene closes down, Tina takes a left-hand turn down an alleyway, a little shortcut she knows. She gets down to the end, and that's when she hears like a commotion behind her. And when she turns to look around, there is Morio, like just completely stumbling over a bunch of like.
What I was really whispering
cart-
was how badly I was going to kill her.
I think your anger is even greater now because you like stubbed your toe and stuff. Okay. Let's go ahead and go over to Moku then. What do you got for us, Gabe?
I'll do. Like, what's the time that passes between these scenes? Is there like just whatever?
It's entirely abstract. You can go before him, after him. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's the same day though, right?
It's the same day. It's all within like the second day, but it's okay. Like it's all kind of abstracted. We'll work it out.
Okay. So then, I will do a battle scene
Oh.
with. I get to choose, right? As long as I know their location.
So you choose a single character whose location you know. So who you fighting?
Morio.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch us over then to the battle scene. I hope this works. Okay, there we go. All done. So what I need you all to do, let me go ahead and clear that off. So clear that off for you. Clear that off for you so you can actually see it properly now. Okay. So what you all have to do, see, battling in Shinobigami is a little odd. It's a little different. Odd's not the right word. It's sort of abstracted. So what we have on the screen is sort of the battle plan or the battle sheet. So the way this is going to work is there are essentially 3 steps to the battle phase. The first is the plot step, which if you've played any other RPG, it's basically initiative. But instead of rolling for initiative randomly, they actually get to choose initiative. Then The other thing that they're able to do is they are able to potentially use certain ninpo during that plot step. So depending on what they might have, but there's some sort of limitations on like how many you can use. But we'll cover that if it's necessary. So once the plot value is locked in, what we then do is we put people onto those different locations, because a plot value is basically a D6, and they can choose whether they want to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. The higher the number they pick, the earlier they go. However, the higher number they pick, the higher their fumble chance, because when they go and eventually roll their check, they're going to roll 2 D6s, and if they roll equal to or less than their plot value, then they have now crit failed, I should say. So if they roll if they pick 6, that sounds great, you're going to go first. But then if you roll a 5 on your check, you just fumbled, and bad things can potentially happen. The other thing is that during battle scenes, these aren't to the death. So the first time somebody actually uses takes damage, they're out, they're gone, they can't do anything anymore. The other thing I should say is that there's other people who could potentially join this particular fight. I'm trying to remember exactly how.
They're like emo bonded.
Emo
they
bonds.
Can do
Yes.
incursions and stuff.
So who has an emo bond with either Moku or Morio?
Tina does.
You are welcome, but you are not required to use an incursion to also join this battle if you would like. Do you want to? You can choose now, or you can always do it later. If there is a second round or third round of combat, you can potentially join later if you want.
Sure, I will go ahead and do an incursion.
Okay. So then, scene player, that's you, Moku. Where do you want this battlefield to take place? You can roll randomly. You can just sort of pick it and describe it yourself.
Okay. And I can use the battlefield chart there, is what you meant by roll randomly.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. You don't have to. You could just be normal. Like, it's entirely up to you. You get to control the battlefield in this.
We'll at the hospital
Okay.
after hours.
Is there a particular? Are we like in the emergency room? Or are we in like?
We're in like the room where the children's beds are all kind of up against the walls, like
Okay.
kind of like a dorm. That's where we're at.
Are they all sleeping?
No.
Okay.
They all got they in this case they were all moved to another section of the hospital.
So you found kind of like an unused wing where children, but because the sickness has been spreading so heavily, there's no need for this particular room currently.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. I like it. Okay, so all three of you are in it then. So then what we need to do is, anyone using any plot scene or plot step ninpo? Anyone doing anything special?
No.
Okay, so then let's go ahead and take our plot values. So on your character sheet where it says Whisper GM, you can see that there are 6 different dice that corresponds to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So pick your plot value. I'll tell you when to go. Once everyone has it ready in their heads, I'll say now, and then you can click your button.
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Tina, you ready? Okay, go ahead. Hit him. Okay, so then that's going to be Moku went ahead and picked 2. Moru also picked 2. Let's see. There we go. Moku is the orange. What am I doing? Is the blue guy, the guy that looks like a lizard. And Morio is the guy with glasses who's stabbing a piece of paper for some reason.
That was a really bad student work.
I need to change because it still says Trisha Takanawa when you were doing your Family Guy reference. It says Tina, and Tina picked 3. Okay, perfect. So is this all showing on stream? Okay, beautiful. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to get into the attack resolution. So we start with the highest number, and so in this case it's Tina. Tina actually gets to go first. You get to choose an attack ninpo, or if you have any, you could always use, as if you look at your ninpo, some of your ninpo have cost. So what that means is that you can use as many ninpo that equals your plot value. Okay, so in this case, Tina can use up to Ninpo that have up to a total of 3 cost. You can only ever use one attack Ninpo. You can't attack twice on the same turn, but you can use support Ninpo and then use an attack Ninpo if you want. So you are up, Tina, as you see Moku and Morio are beginning to, like cats meeting in an alleyway, starting to slowly move around each other in the middle of the darkness. The door opens up and you slide in, barely noticed. The speed with which you are moving is much faster than them. What would you like to do?
So Tina is going to kind of pull out from within a kind of pocket in her suit jacket. She's going to pull out a tiny dagger and just kind of do a little kind of stabby stab in the back.
Okay. So what attack Ninpo are you using?
So I am doing close combat
Okay.
with hidden weapon.
What's the range of close combat?
1.
Okay. So in this game, range is abstracted, and range is based upon your position on the battle sheet. So if you're trying to use something that has a range of 1, like Tina is, that means she would only be able to attack somebody who is on 2, 3, or 4. If somebody was on 5, then she wouldn't be able to attack them because they're now at 2 range. All right, go ahead and roll your check. All right.
Ooh.
That is a critical success.
On Moku, right?
Who is this on? Who are you attacking?
Clearly not the person trying to kill her.
The person trying to kill this
right.
Morio.
Okay.
I was like, wait a minute. No, did I get my names wrong?
Okay.
Morio.
So, unfortunately, the critical success doesn't really help you too much here. It's an automatic success, but it already was going to be a regular success for you. But you can also, when you critically succeed, you can recover 1 life point, and you can also recover from a single status ailment. But you haven't actually taken any damage yet, so it doesn't really benefit you. But it is still a success. There's dodging in this game. So what that means is that your target, so Morio, can roll a dodge check. That dodge check will be the same skill that you use to roll your Ninpo attack. So hidden weapons, you said, correct?
Yes, hidden weapons.
Okay, so Mario, go ahead and roll a hidden weapons check for me. That is a fail.
Oh.
Okay, so you're having a rough night with the dice.
Yeah.
I've been there, man. I haven't actually. I always roll well. Okay, so go ahead, since you succeeded there, Tina. Describe how this happens, how you go in there, and how this works with your critical success. And he's focusing on Moku, and you sneak into the room.
Yeah, so he's definitely, focusing on Moku, and I've, knowing that, this person has kind of put a threat out on my life, I'm definitely, kind of keeping an eye out for what's going on. So she has a jacket and sort of has that interior, kind of jacket pocket. And that's where she pulls out the dagger, and, he has no idea that she's coming, and she's kind of sneaking right up behind him and just, kind of up under the ribs in the back, manages to get off two stabs.
Okay. So that was a close combat attack, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so then when you assign damage, so you're going to go ahead and so the close combat attacks do, checking my notes here.
So it says for close combat attack critical, Ninpo does 1d6 damage or its normal damage.
Yeah,
That
that's
would
what
be
I was
higher.
looking for. All right, so roll your 1d6. You can get that from the left. You can just roll a d6 on the left, where the die is on that little mini menu in roll 20. Second icon from the bottom from that mini menu in the upper left.
Got it.
Okay.
Hey.
So you do 1 damage. So with close combat attacks, when you actually assign damage for that, the attacker randomly selects a category. So roll another d6 there, Tina, to see what category that actually does damage to. You can
Nice.
you can roll something other than a 1. So
that's tech.
it should be
Tech.
tech. Yep, should be tech. So the way damage works in this game is that every character has categories of skills: technology, sorcery, scheming, stealth, and martial arts. And if you take damage, one of those categories is now blocked off from you. So in this case, Morio took a damage, and so he no longer has access currently to the tech. Not only that, but he is defeated, and you see with the attack, he actually leaves combat. So how does that actually look? So how does your escape look there, Morio?
As I take the stab into my back, I turn to Moku and say, just to chat, you said. I see this was a trap all along. So I roll out an open window.
Okay. All right. Then it is now, with Morio no longer in the combat, it's now Moku. Your turn. What do you want to do, buddy?
So what are my options at this point? Now that he's no longer in combat,
You can attack Tina if you feel like attacking Tina. You can go ahead and you can always just bow out of combat at any point in time. You can just say you leave. That's fine as well. During the main phase, anytime you want, you can just be like, I'm out, see ya. And so you can just leave. So it's up to you.
okay. So this is a main phase because it would be my turn
Yep.
during the main phase. Okay.
Yeah, it's still your turn technically, yeah.
Okay. After seeing what had happened, I get after seeing Morio, run out the window and everything, and I turn around and I see that Tina's was the one that had inflicted the wounds upon him. I kind of get a little flustered, and I try to kind of compose myself, and without saying much of anything, I give Tina the a doll or a puppet of Morio with the paddle that he baited and switched me with earlier for the dagger.
Okay.
And then I leave very quickly.
Okay. So
I feel like I needed to say something, and then he was gone.
So technically, Tina, you won this battle scene. So what that means, because you managed to defeat a character in this battle scene, the winner can select a couple different things. So you can select information from a losing character. So that would be location or secret from Morio. You can try to have an emo bond, or you can take the prize, which would be the dagger in this case.
Well, how much of a jerk would I be? I come in.
Don't worry about being a jerk. You have a mission. You have a mission.
Ninja life.
It's just ninja. You got a mission.
Phew.
The government's going to be very upset for something. You're never going national unless you get.
Right.
You're going to be on local Tokyo news or some small hick town in Japan.
Forever. Yeah, I mean,
All right.
I feel like I gotta do it.
Okay. So as Moku strangely hands a puppet to you, seeming to just stumble over words if he's trying to say something, maybe thank you, maybe you're not sure. You see on the ground, right where Morio had already left, that there is a small object kind of wrapped up in some sort of linens. And alone in the room, you reach down, you pick it up, begin to unwrap it, and what do your eyes spy? But the god of Miss, the Kimakiri dagger. So you now have the prize, and that's the end of this battle scene. And then finally, end of cycle will be Hina. What do you want to do? What are we doing? We doing a little drama? We doing a little drama? We gonna beat people up? What do you want to do?
Um,
A little battle?
Hina's gonna do a drama, and
Logan says you should beat somebody up.
I should beat somebody up.
That's what he says. I'm just saying, and he's legendary. So
He's legendary.
why isn't Logan playing in this game?
Right? Next one.
Next one, he's playing in this game.
I want to meet up with. I don't have an emo bond with Tina, do I?
You tell. I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, no, it failed, right?
I don't know if you failed. I don't know if you ever attempted one.
Oh, she got something else. She
Right.
got my secret.
Yeah.
I'll meet with Tina.
Okay. All right. Where are we meeting?
Let's roll.
I like the rolling. I really
Okay.
appreciate that. You want to do it again? We've already done the whole rooftops.
Yeah.
A chattering, raucous crowd surrounds you. The inane, naive babble of those blind to the shadow war fills your ears.
Yeah, we're at the mall.
Oh, Lord.
So
So it's a horror movie all of a sudden.
This is what we do.
yeah, Hina runs into Tina at like our favorite shop at the mall. We're like near the dressing rooms, and I've got my arms full of clothes and everything, and you know, we're just hanging out because you know we had a wonderful time at the coffee bar.
And the key to better poetry is clearly having like the good clothes. Like this is gonna help me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like handing you like a beret, like, you know, this is really what you need. I heard it's popular in the Americas. And she's asking
A beret. A French hat is popular in America.
exactly.
Like
she doesn't know
awesome.
what she's talking about.
It's great.
And
So good.
Hina starts asking her about like her work and her investigation stuff, and you know, if she's looking into the shrine and if she's learned anything. And I'm gonna do an investigation roll.
So are you talking to her? You said?
Yeah, we're talking, and
We're
asking
trying on
her-
clothes and we're having a fun
Yeah,
little
we're like each
conversation
in a
the dressing
different
room.
like changing room, and we're
Mhm.
just like yelling across to
You
each
said
other. So how's it working?
investigation.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds all right. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and roll it. And then you can like role play. Oh, just barely. Okay, so successful.
Barely.
All right.
Yes. So how's work been? You know, you've seen all that weird stuff with the shrine, right?
Yes, but you know, for whatever reason, you know, my boss has decided that I can't have that story, so I'm off interviewing do-gooders at the child hospital.
Okay,
and,
but you
know.
can't tell me you're not like looking into it. There's no way.
So then I sort of like sneak my head out because I've tried something else on, and I
Yeah, we're
kind of
both,
say
like,
quietly, like, "Of course
Looking
I
at each
am."
other. And Hina laughs and she goes, "Did you learn anything like cool? Like, do we know who took it?"
So I'll, you know, kind of motion you into kind of the dressing room that I've been in, which is right next door to the one that you've been in. And I'll kind of go into my bag, and I'll actually show you that I actually have.
You brought this to the mall?
This is not letting this out of my sight.
I mean, I guess that's smart. And then and Hina's just like, we should go somewhere else with this. I don't where there's so many civilians here.
You would also know that your clan is likely, like you've probably been in contact with them, Tina, and they're sending reinforcements to ensure its safe retrieval. And right now, keeping it secret and safe is probably the best route than trying to carry that onto like a train or a cab or something like that to get it back in safe hands of the Hirosaka agency. So you still have a little time to kill before they get there, and you have to figure out a way to keep it from being taken.
Mm-hmm. You know, so I'll definitely kind of be scheming of, you know, maybe, you know, I have been told that I, you know, finding a safe place. You know, maybe we can come up with a good safe place, because.
I mean, I think the main priority at least is getting it away from the civilians.
No hiding in plain sight plan. We'll find a secret place for it.
So are you trying to get info out of her, or you want to do an emo bond? What you looking to do?
She wants an emo bond.
Okay. Go ahead and roll them.
Yes.
Okay. What about you there, Tina?
Miss
Sorry,
Tina.
I had closed my sheet.
Okay. So you can go ahead and pick what you would like to do.
I'm gonna go with friendship.
So the other thing we haven't really been doing, but we should probably start doing it now since there's a lot of emo bonds going around. There's an ability in this game called emo modding. And so emo mods basically allow any character who already has an emo bond with the person who's controlling the scene player, they can give them a +1 or a -1 bonus to their skill check for that scene based upon whether or not their emo bond is positive or negative, right?
Oh, nice.
But you have to declare that before the roll is taken. There's other things that you can also kind of do that in combat as well. But again, most of those like little bonuses and things like that have to be done ahead of time. And you usually kind of got to describe exactly what's transpiring to make that actually happen. In combat, there's a thing called influence as well, which we'll dive into hopefully as the third cycle commences. We'll probably have more combat, I think, in this last round. Don't forget, you all want this prize. So a player not in combat can always influence once per round. This actually doesn't require an emo bond, but you do have to declare it. And this, again, does that kind of plus or minus penalty. So think about that as we move into the final cycle. So another day passes. And the security on the streets is getting more and more chaotic. As not only are all these long, old school Lincoln Continental type cars showing up with their dark tinted windows and people pouring out of them like they're clown cars, 10 people coming out with dark sunglasses and those curly Q wires connected to the ears, but also you hear the sounds of helicopters landing atop certain rooftops, and you can see that there is even more scouting being done as further and further the look, they seem to know whoever it is that's trying to keep this, whatever clan might be in control of these particular people. Some of you aren't entirely sure that they know it's still within the area, and the desperation for getting that is so important, because he and she who control the artifacts of the Shinobigami can control the direction that Japan takes in the near future. So 48 hours have passed. The god of Miss Dagger has been stolen. Some of you know that it is now in the hands of 54-year-old Tina Takanawa, local news reporter of some hick town in Japan. Clouds are gathering on the edge of the skies. There's a very foreboding look to the horizon. What will happen today? We're going to go ahead and start back with Tina Takanawa. What you doing for your third cycle?
Long, what clan are you with?
Kurama Shin.
Okay. So sorry.
That's right.
So Tina is going to Tina's goal for the day is to basically be spreading some information around that basically that Long's clan is in possession of the knife. So that's kind of what the goal is going to be for the day. So not necessarily interacting with any of the player characters, but just kind of man on the street whispering. Essentially the skill is rumor mongering.
Okay. So what kind of rumors are you trying to sow?
Basically I'm trying to lead them to him, saying that it's, it's someone at the school, it's this particular clan. That's really where everyone should, kind of be.
Okay.
And
is
just
anybody
spreading all sorts of negative things.
Are you bringing any PC into this?
Kind of keeping my distance because I've got what they're looking for, so I'm not necessarily kind of showing my face. I'm just
turtling, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Right on. Okay. So go ahead and you can roll your check.
Okay.
Okay, that's almost another crit for you. So people, as you're sewing it, you're trying to draw people's attention to this, but the problem is that you're not, normal people don't know that the ninja war exists. So
then basically I would go with the direction, because there is an obvious presence of law enforcement in the area, right? Sure. So even normal people would notice that.
Okay.
So I'm kind of going to be saying, kind of coming up with a reason that, that ping pong coach over at the school I just heard some horrible stories about the things that he's been up to, and I hear he's on the run, and we should really just keep an eye out for kind of guy with this description kind of thing.
Okay. There's some really dark rumors that start to circle around the ping pong coach at the school and why he might be on the run. I won't repeat them here, but they're pretty bad. But it does seem to be successful. Every now and then you see some person who sort of recognizes you. Like, are you Tina Takanawa? Oh, we loved your report on how everybody back at Hicktown, Tokyo, whatever the place you're from, not Tokyo itself, how that one bake sale went terribly awry, and so people have a small sense of recognition of you, and yeah, your remembering seems to take hold. So there's nothing you can really get here unless you're looking, because you can't really recover. You don't have any status ailments. You haven't taken any damage, so. We're going to move over to Morio. What do you want to do, man?
Drama scene.
Ooh, drama scene. Okay. All right. Idea of who you want this to be with?
Yeah, I'm going to pull in Hina.
Okay.
And Moku.
Okay. Are both of you okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
haven't met Moku yet.
Okay. Where are we at, and when are we?
We're in the forest, so we're just out because of all this rumor mongering going around. We had to escape the town.
Okay.
And I'm in the forest.
Okay. All right. You can see in the distance the clouds are slowly coming in, and there's a sort of a slight sprinkling of rain that's begin to fall. You can hear distant thunder. There's definitely going to be a storm. You're not sure how long this meeting that might take, but you know that if you linger here for too long, you're likely get poured on.
I wait for the two of them to arrive, or anyone to arrive.
Okay. Who comes first?
Hina just kind of pops out of the shadows and is lounging on a tree.
As expected, out of the shadows. You probably know why I've called you here. But the god of mist sword, the dagger, I've lost it. And it's gone to the hands of Tina.
Tina Takanawa, local news reporter.
Really? I know.
Because you know, right? Hina
Yep.
knows. Yeah.
Hina knows.
Hey, do me a favor. Roll a bluff check there, Hina.
Wait, I can't hear you. What?
Roll a bluff check.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Bluff is under.
At the mention of Tina's name, I kind of appear out from behind one of the trees.
So you get the sense there, Morio, that Hina already knew that little bit of information that you dropped, that Tina's the one carrying the god of mist.
She was very Valley Girl about it. She's like, really? Like, and kind of like rolls her eyes. Like, yeah, I knew that already.
Okay. And then out steps Moku. Do you say anything, Moku, or do you just watch them for a bit?
I'm just going to watch them for a bit.
Okay. All right. So, what's going on, scene player? What are we trying to accomplish?
Yes. So I'm trying to get a location out of Tina, so if anyone knows. So I'm trying to pull out of them.
Okay.
So I know this dagger has fallen to the government. I've been chasing after. I need my clan to have it, or else something bad will happen.
Do you let yourself be known yet, Moku, or are you still just waiting and listening?
I'll kind of step forward so that way I'm kind of in vision of Morio.
And so you see him just sort of step out from behind a tree, and now all three of you can clearly see each other. Who are you trying to target with that convincing statement? Who do you want to try to roll your check against? There, Morio.
I don't know where she's located.
I'm gonna do Moku. Okay. I'm gonna do the spiel of because he came earlier to me about the sickness of the kids.
Okay.
that if I don't get it back, I can't help him with that either.
Okay. So taking a look at that, I mean, what do you want to try to accomplish here? Like, are you telling the truth, or are you trying to bluff him?
I'm telling the truth.
Okay. So manipulation sounds like the most likely role.
Seduction.
Okay.
Finances? You're doing his taxes? Okay.
Nice.
I was gonna ask people if they wanted to do any sort of mods, but I guess it's a little late for that.
Oh.
It's okay. So the target was a 9.
Can Tina mod me because she's here?
Technically, it's supposed to happen first. Do you have an emo bond?
We do.
Would you, like, with the mention of the children, would you have wanted to help him with that, like, to try to convince Moku that finding Tina and doing something different with the dagger than she intends would be a worthwhile thing, or is Hina too frenzy with Tina at this point and wouldn't really want to get her in trouble?
We're kind of really frenzies at this point.
Okay.
So I don't think Hina would want to, like, get him in trouble.
Okay.
I'll use a Soma pill.
Okay.
That's reroll, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
So there's different ninja gear in game. One of them is a life bead that lets you get health back. One of them's the bead or the soma that lets you reroll. And there's another one, I can't remember the name of it, that
Prayer
forces.
seal.
Yeah, and that prayer seal forces somebody else to reroll. Now, before you roll, is anybody else? Do you have an emo bond with him, Moku?
With Morio, no.
Okay. All right. So then you're on your own.
All right, let's do this.
That's a big target. Oh, it's even worse.
Oh.
Your argument falls on deaf ears. Moku, how do you reply? I mean, knowing that it's not the most convincing argument, you're probably not entirely probably don't really trust him too much. You saw what he was trying to do to you at the hospital before Tina interfered. So how much you would have responded?
Knowing that he's actively trying to get a hold of the dagger and give it to his clan for whatever reason, knowing that he has the dagger, or he had the dagger and he continues to want it, putting the children in harm's way, and the fact that he was attempting to, or I guess in my case I was attempting to hurt him, so he was attempting to convince me.
He was attempting to convince you, but he made
failed.
a terrible argument. You can tell that that while he might believe some of what he's saying, he's clearly just in this because he wants his clan to have the dagger and nobody else to have the dagger, and so he has no real care for the children.
Oh, okay.
That's
and then I'll kind of brush past him and just kind of like give him a shove as I'm walking by him, and then I'll just kind of walk out of the way.
Okay. All right.
You're making a terrible decision, and then I hop onto the trees and start bouncing away.
Okay. Oh man, very crouching tiger, hidden dragon. I like it. Different, whatever. But anyway, okay. So then we're gonna rotate over to Moku. Your turn. This is the final cycle, everybody. This is third cycle. We got 2 more scenes left before the climax of our story. So what do you want to do, Moku? We've got clouds.
So I
are
can do.
circling.
So I still have the option to do like a drama scene or a
Anything you
battle
want.
scene, like anything I
Drama
want
scene
to
or
do.
battle, whatever you prefer.
Okay, I'll do a drama scene.
Okay. Who do you want to? Is there somebody here that you want to be involved in?
Tina.
Okay. And where do you want this to take place?
We'll use the scene generator thing. Let me see.
Tina, are you okay with being part of this? It's a drama
Yes.
scene. Okay. So mechanically, you can't lose the prize in a drama scene. That makes perfect sense. A heavy rain begins to pour down. People pull out their umbrellas as the clouds have come from the horizon and are directly overhead at this point. The heavy thunder and lightning is still a little bit at a distance, but the heavy rainfalls have begun to start. Where is this taking place? Are you currently getting soaking wet? Or are you inside looking out at the rain? What do you want to do?
I'll be outside in the rain,
Okay.
underneath like an overhang or something.
Oh, it's so emo. Okay. I like it.
So maybe I just came out of one of the coffee shops where I'm kind of dropping my rumors around and.
Okay.
And then like you hear the how they have those bells around the doors when they get opened or closed. They have the little ring so to notify that they've been opened. I hear the ring and I notice that it's Tina, and I try to hide myself, but she seems to have noticed me and has approached me, and I kind of try and fumble for words and ask her. Basically, I'll talk about the conflict that happened at the hospital earlier with Morio and why she was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you can either roll it now, and depending on what he does, that can kind of dictate your answer.
Sure.
You want to do that, Gabe?
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
So you're not really trying to like bluff her or anything. You're just trying to like get information from her.
Yes.
Sounds like that could be a couple different things. We could do. It doesn't really sound like you're trying to manipulate. So we could do investigation. We could do. I don't know. What are you thinking?
So with this, I would just choose a skill that would kind of.
You just sort of tell me what you think, and it could be as creative as you want. Like, you're welcome to take if you want to make the case that it works. Like, if you want to do ventriloquism because you're holding up your puppet and your puppet's saying these things to her, go right ahead. That works for me, right?
Okay.
Please.
I have no problem with that whatsoever. So the idea is just like be creative and be kind of silly with how it works. Or if it's like if you wanted to say I'm rolling a peril because I stopped and I got new clothes or something like that,
Okay.
or whatever, So
Well, then, in the case of the fact that I'm so flustered and I fumble around my words so many times around Tina, I pull out a puppet from one of the children's shows and I start using it and talking to her very confidently through the puppet.
Okay, I love it.
This is a wonderful scene. Like the rain is falling in the background. Like I come out of this coffee shop.
What
and
is-
see somebody.
What does the puppet look like?
That's a great question.
It's you.
It's got its own little umbrella too. It comes prepared.
Yeah, I guess it's just a kind of a smaller version of me.
Okay.
It just kind of has a trench coat and a hat and everything. So
Nice.
A chibi version.
yeah, there you go, a chibi version of me.
Beautiful. I love it. All right.
Tina's initially not sure what to do and kind of pulls out the other puppet that she has and is sort of like thinking, okay, maybe this is going to be a
Make them kiss.
puppet conversation.
And in seeing the other puppet that you brought out that he had given you earlier, he uses the hand of the doll and removes his hat from the doll and kind of bows down and gestures towards the other doll.
Okay. You don't have an emo bond, right?
Yes, we do.
Oh, you do? Are you looking to help him with this? You can always give him a +1 or a -1. There, Tina. To his check. You don't have to. It's entirely optional. It's an emo mod. Like, are you being receptive to this gesture? And if that's the case, like you're helping him,
Yeah.
then go ahead. So roll your check, and you're going to be able to add a +1 to it as well.
Okay.
So ventriloquism, go for it. Okay, so that would have been a 9, so that's a success for sure. So, okay. What do you want to get out of this?
I guess her location, maybe where she went to after the battle had ensued.
Okay, and who has an emo bond with Moku?
That would be just Tina.
Okay, then that you're the only person who learns Tina's location.
Doesn't so only if I learn the location. Okay, got it.
Okay, so the rain continues to fall, and Tina, I would say that the last few times you've met him, he's been very flustered and strange, but suddenly it kind of clicks. It sort of makes sense. He's just a little socially awkward, and he carries around these cases, and now you realize this is just what he does, right? This is just, and you heard talk of him at the hospital and about how he's so good with the children, entertaining them, and it all kind of begins to make sense to some degree, and maybe a little part of you begins to trust him despite the fact that there is this very, very tense situation. You're still thinking to the fact that your clan needs that dagger. Your mission is to get to that dagger, but maybe if a different day, a different time, things might have been different between you. Okay. Then we're gonna finish up final cycle. It is gonna be Hina's turn. What do you want to try to do?
Hina wants to who knows of Morio's location?
I do. Wait, doesn't everyone? Or is that this? No, everyone knew the
I
secret.
don't.
Secret. I
Everyone
should say
knows
that
the
the
secret.
benefit of gaining location at this point is not unless you have a secret a secret quest for it or something like that. This late, because the third cycle is ending, and the final.
So there's no point.
Yeah, the climax everyone's involved with no matter what. So learning his location, unless there's an ulterior motive you have for learning it, it's not necessarily going to benefit you now, because you're never going to get a chance to use anything with it.
Okay, then
I do think it's possible you might get extra merit for it at the end. Merit is basically like XP if we ever decide to play this again with the same characters or something like that.
Gotcha. I think then Hina would just want to meet like Moku again, because like the first time she saw him, he was being weird in the forest. So maybe she's just gonna like hunt him down and just like see what's up.
And stab him.
I mean,
Wow.
not yet, anyways.
She said hunt him. It's in his little, just rip the heads off all his little puppets.
Oh my
God.
Sorry, I want there to be blood. Okay, so
There will be.
where are we doing this? Where is this taking place? Again, the storms are overhead.
Oh.
It is a hell of a storm. People are starting to flee the streets, go into their homes, go into the various buildings nearby to get shelter. The sun is going down in the distance.
I think we're just gonna like meet at a different like overhang as he's like walking home, perhaps
Okay.
in the rain.
All right. Are you? What are you looking to try to accomplish here? Like, what are you thinking about in terms of skill? Like, let this skill kind of dictate maybe how the events of the scene play out.
Considering it's raining, she has hydromancy. So I think, and she doesn't have like a puppet, but she does kind of want to get to know him a little bit. So she'll make like a little puppet out of water
Okay.
and like talk to him through the puppet.
Okay. Does anybody? Do you have an emo bond already?
I have not with Moku.
Okay, so he can't give you a plus. So, so go ahead and roll that. All right, that's a success. So you see there, Moku, as you're heading home, or you're heading to wherever it is you're sort of staying, maybe the hospital, maybe somewhere else, and you just finished up your conversation with Tina when you noticed this sort of peculiar looking woman that you saw in the jungle, or in the trees, I should say, and who seemed to kind of deny the aggressive attempts of Morio to give up Tina's location. And she sort of waves you over, and when you look closer you realize it's not actually her waving you over, but this small like watery puppet that is making this waving motion to you. So what do you two talk about?
Hina's really gonna just like kind of just inquire about who he is, like maybe discover like what his backstory is, and just try and like get to know him more than anything.
So what do you want to? What would you feel comfortable sharing with her in this situation, Moku? Little or as much as you want.
Okay. Is this like a specific like characteristic about like my character in terms of like
No, just think about
what
whatever you want. It doesn't have to be something on the sheet. It could just be whatever your character is doing. You know, whatever your character's done. Maybe why they got into puppeteering in the first place. Maybe why you're so concerned about the kids. Just anything you want. Whatever you think your character might share in this kind of situation.
Okay. Upon seeing the water puppet, I take my hands out of my pockets, surprisingly, and attached to one of my hands is myself, my chibi self, and I quickly kind of walk over to her, and I gesture with removing my chibi puppet hat, and I kind of bow towards the water puppet, and then our puppets are talking. You kind of see that Hina is not very good with ventriloquism, so I can kind of see her mouth moving like very like noticeably, but she's trying, so he appreciates that. And seeing as how she knows that I like puppets, I kind of share my backstory with her and why I came into puppetry and why I try and please the children to make them happy. And it's because, like, can I say why, or like does it matter? Okay, because in when he was younger, he too also was hospitalized and didn't have anyone to care for him, and every day in and day out dealt with the same exact thing that the children do. And so he just wants to, fortunately for him, he was able to overcome the sickness, but he just wants to be there for the children, like, so that way the same thing doesn't happen to them like it did for him.
All right. That's great, man. All right. Are you doing an emo bond? Is that what you're doing there?
Yep.
Okay. So both of you can go ahead and roll your emo bonds.
Oh,
Okay.
hell yeah. Got
Affection or envy? What would you like towards
affection
Okay.
from my man.
Mocha, go ahead and roll it as well. You can choose either empathy or mistrust.
I'll choose empathy.
Okay. All very friendly. And then after that conversation, eventually the two of you sort of part ways. As the rain continues to fall, all of you retreat to wherever it is that you've been kind of keeping yourselves in the night. Tina, you're perhaps in some sort of small hotel room, maybe, and you've got the news on. You're looking at some local reporter who's trying to stand in the middle of a street that's getting flooded while the wind is kicking past. She's wearing this heavy raincoat, wind kind of pushing her. She can barely stand. You think to yourself, soon you don't have to do this, right? Soon. And that's when your phone begins to buzz. Pick it up, you take a look at it, and maybe a little bit of a cold shiver goes down your back as you recognize it as one of the clan elders, a very stern clan elder. When you answer the phone, there's a voice that comes out, and he says, "You have been not ineffective, but perhaps a bit too lackadaisical. Have you forgotten the ultimate mission you have? Protect it carefully. We've heard reports that you have been freely sharing things with others. The War of Shadows is one that is not made with friends. Your clan is who you should be loyal to, not these random others. Fail us, and not only will you never regain your national stardom, but we will drop you so low that you will only be able to do a weekly news podcast. You will never be on television again." And so he hangs up, and maybe you feel a little sternness come. Morio, I don't know where you're at right now. It's been a rough couple of days.
It has.
You're licking your wounds a little bit, soaking wet, trying to eat ramen, but like the bowl is getting filled up with as the rain, because there were no seats left in the restaurant. And that same individual that you saw in the ping pong room suddenly steps out of the ramen noodle restaurant where you had just purchased, holding in his hand a very beautiful bowl, and eating the noodles with great deftness. But not only that, the rain just seems to move around him as if he's not getting wet at all. And he says to you, "I feel as though we have perhaps made a grave error in sending you here. Have you the weapon?"
No, it's gone.
If you do not find it quickly, do not return to headquarters, for you will no longer be welcome there. And he turns away from you, not listening for your reply, and continues walking away. And you can see as he goes, the rain just sort of parting around him the whole time.
I continue eating my sad bowl of ramen.
Moku, wherever hidey hole you found yourself, maybe you're back at the school, trying to get out of the rain, and you see coming out of an alleyway nearby, kind of flagging you down, this person in this heavy raincoat. Can't see their face. And when you get very close, she pulls back on the raincoat a bit, and you can see middle-aged woman, 40s maybe, with a not unkind face, but definitely a face that suggests she's lived a hard life. Wrinkles here, creases. There's a sternness to her visage. And when she looks down at you, you recognize her as being a volunteer at the hospital where you do your puppetry. Not the same kind of volunteer that you are. She instead kind of is more like a helping with, kind of cleaning and helping with like orderly work. And she has a little bit of medical knowledge here and there. And she looks down at you, and you feel this great wave of disappointment just emanating off of her. And she says to you, Have you forgotten what little Yawa is sick with? Do you want more sickly Yawas?
I don't.
Have you found the dagger?
I know of its location, but I'm torn.
And she says to you, There is no reason to be torn. There is only one way. Get the dagger. Retrieve it. That's the only way that Yawa and the others will ever be safe from the dangers that this dagger, this artifact, and whoever chooses to use it for whatever ill aims they have, you can't trust them. You know this. You know you cannot join their clans with their ulterior motives, their designs for power and control. We just want freedom and to live our lives, but they will take that dagger and they will use it for things that will not yield positive results, that will not make our city better, that will not make the people we care about any better. So she reaches out and she puts like a hand on your shoulder and she says, Steel yourself. Return with the dagger. We will find a way to destroy it or keep it out of harm's reach. And she puts the hood back up, dashes back into the river. Yeah, she's just a river. She just dumps in the river, dashes back into the rain, and disappears down the alleyway. Hina, maybe you're finally out of the rain, kind of shaking off the water a little bit. Flip a few light switches on in whatever room that you've found shelter in. And as you do, you notice again the shadows begin to take on their own aims on the wall. As you see your head just sort of tilt to the side and a second head begin to grow up and out of the neck. Arms starting to spread out from it like a rose growing leaves and vines. The head just sort of lops down and turns back to you and says, Have you forgotten your mission? There's this kind of strong female voice. It's different than the one that you spoke with before. You realize that they've gone up the management chain. This was somebody a little bit higher.
Yeah. And she's like, Yes, Grandma, I remember. I know the location.
The bloodline of the Oni. As you know, we tried once to perform the ritual, and all of the artifacts disappeared. Here we have an opportunity to retrieve one, and you go to the Gap, and you buy berets. Our information sphere extends very far and very wide. The shadows are ours. Do not disappoint me. Do not embarrass me, granddaughter. And then you see she just starts to wither and wilt until the shadow retreats back to its normal form. So, this is the end of the main phase. We now move on to the climax phase of our story. Just over 72 hours have now passed, or maybe just under, about 70 hours have passed. It's pre-dawn. It's been raining throughout the night. Good 8, 9, 10 hours straight. The streets are flooded. No one's on them. It's empty. Your various contacts, be them homeless on the streets or sea eyes that text you or shadows that whisper to you, gives you some sort of information. All of you, other than Tina, are told that the Hirosaka Agency is sending a convoy of vehicles, government vehicles, to an abandoned parking lot at the edge of the city to the east. This is your last opportunity to retrieve the dagger. The thunder crowds, as you all start to gather in different places in this particular parking lot, the thunder clouds start to crack and break, and rain continues to pour as slowly these little lights, these little lingering street lights that are in the middle of this parking lot, very few cars, some of them probably old and broke down, people have abandoned them here. You can see stepping and passing underneath some of these flickering lamp lights, you can see shadows begin to emerge. First 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then finally you see Moku step out as well, as the 4 of you come face to face within relative distance to one another. There you see Tina holding on to some sort of satchel, clinging to it. You're pretty confident, all of you, that she is the one who has it. The next several minutes will determine the flow of history and determine the path and the course that Japan sets, and which clan is able to take the reins. All of you begin to draw your weapons and advance towards one another. So this is the climax phase as we go to the battlefield once more.
This is a part where we stop stream and we continue this next season, right? Like on Dragon Ball Z, right before the climax hits.
No, you have to reach back and start to perform an attack, and then halfway through that attack, then we cut.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so we're gonna do battle scenes. So this is our second one. Just like battle scenes, everything's pretty much the same. The only difference, the big difference is that a player isn't defeated until they lose all their life points. You cannot freely escape. If there's no getting out of it. This is sort of a fight, not necessarily to the death, because Shinobigami, you only die if you choose or elect to die, and there's benefits to doing that. So everyone's here until you lose all your life points. Another big thing in the climax scene is that you're able to use an ability called flashbacks, and so flashbacks allow you to get a bonus, either a skill check or a damage bonus. These have to be declared. So for the skill check, before you make that skill check, you have to declare that you're doing a flashback before you roll. And so during that flashback, you reveal your secret and you role play some sort of flashback related to that secret. And then that will give you a +3 bonus to your skill check. If you decide to use it for the flashback, and you can only use this once, you can do this on a damage roll as well. So this is something that you'll declare after you succeed on attack and your target fails their dodge check. Then what you'll do is you do the scene, explain again the same sort of idea, connect it to your secret in some way, and you get to deal a point of close combat damage in addition to your attack's normal effect. When you are reduced to 0 life points, you kind of fall unconscious, or you retreat into the shadows, you slinker away, something like that, unless you want to die. Of course, if you choose to die, you can never play this character again if we decide to play again. But if you do, there's some things that you could potentially do that's kind of fun, like a last hurrah, and that's that. So we're gonna get into it. We are now in the plot phase. Is anybody looking to use any plot nimpo before we actually make our selections for plot value?
No.
Anybody?
Nope.
No.
Okay, so then you need to go ahead and think about what you want. I will tell what you want to pick for your plot value. When I say when, go ahead and click the button. Everyone take a second to think.
Wait, which button? I haven't done this yet.
So if you look at your character sheet,
Yeah.
there is a section that says Whisper GM. Immediately underneath it, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and there's a little button. You click which one you want to send me, and it'll whisper it to me. And yeah, that's fine. Long, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so go ahead and whisper at this point what you want your plot value to be. Okay, so Moku is on 4 sonic speed. We've got Hina on 3. We've got Morio, bullet speed. Look at that guy. And then we've got Tina on 2. Everyone's on a different one. Look at that. That worked out pretty well. Okay. All right. So keep track of your ninpo. Don't forget you can use Ogi as well. And since no one's discovered any Ogi yet, because no one ever used them, they'll basically go through for free. At least the first time you use them. You can only use an Ogi once per round of combat. And we will continue to do rounds in combat until there's a clear winner. That either could be just mechanically, or it just seems based upon how I'm reading the story that like it definitely seems like one person's winning. So Morio, it is your turn. What do you want to do?
In contact with all these members I've met before. I see you've all been friendly with each other, but you've been no use to me. I've been a fool trying to rely on you guys. So now I have to do my things by myself, on my own. And I'll just start by directly attacking Tina. Yeah, Tina's the one.
Okay. So other thing
with range, right? Is she the?
So remember that range is relative to like the distance away from you on this track. So what's the range of your ability?
It's 2.
So that means you
Can't
can
reach me.
You can target Hina or Moku.
Oh, okay. I'll do Moku.
Okay, so then before we do this, so we can get into the habit of doing this properly, there's always an emo mod. So when a character attempts a skill check, any character with an emo bond towards that character may affect the outcome. If you have a positive emo bond with Morio, you can give him a +1 to his roll. If you have a negative emo bond, you can give him a -1. This has to be declared before the roll, and you can only do this once per round. Okay, so keep that in mind.
Meaning you can, like, if I wanted to...
You could do something...
because...
Yeah, so if he's targeting Moku, there's something that you could potentially do if you have an emo bond with him to affect his roll. So,
But then it means I couldn't do that to help
somebody
Hina
else
later.
It's only once per round. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I would jump in to help Moku.
Okay. So you are
I'm
gonna
doing the emo mod, yeah.
Okay, so is it gonna? Do you have a negative emo bond with?
I have a positive emo bond with Moku.
Then, no. This is. Do you have one with Morio? Because it's Morio's turn.
Oh no, sorry.
Okay, so then everything's fine. All right, go ahead and make your.
All right, I'm gonna use a ninpo range attack. It's gonna be kunais with the reds around them, so they're gonna try and bind them.
Okay, so what does it look like? Describe it.
So I pull these 2 kunais out of my coat, and they have these invisible threads. So you think I'm targeting him, but it's actually gonna circle around him, sort of like ballistas, kind of.
Okay, very nice. Go ahead and roll your check.
Success.
Okay. So then you are targeting Moku. That means Moku now has a chance to dodge. And so in order to dodge, you would have to roll the same skill that Nimpo was assigned to. So you would have to roll a binding check there, Moku, to try and dodge this attack.
Okay. So I can use arrow catching, right?
No, you have. Well, arrow catching is a Nimpo, right?
Correct. Yes.
Read it out loud.
It says you may use this Nimpo when someone makes a successful range attack. Make a skill check using this Nimpo skill with a penalty equal to the difference between your plot value and the plot value of the character making the attack. On successful skill check, the attack fails.
Okay, so it's 1. And then now, since he's making a skill check, if anybody has an emo bond with Moku that wants to positively help him or negatively help him, since he's making a skill check now, you can do that. So, Tina, if you were looking to help out Moku, you could do it now if you wanted.
Yes, I would.
So you're helping him. So now you can do it since he's making the check. So
+1.
You'll get a +1 from her, and then you said a penalty of 1 because of the difference. So those two will basically cancel out, right?
Yes, because it says it's equal to the difference between the plot value and the plot of the character making the attack.
Okay, so it's 1. Okay.
So then I would just roll sleight of hand.
Yeah, it's just roll. Yeah, whatever skill you
Whatever
have
skill
assigned.
I have it set to, yeah, it's sleight of hand.
Okay. Beautiful. So what's the effect?
The effect is the attack fails.
Okay. So describe how it looks.
So as the kunai are flying towards me, hands in pockets, not moving, as the kunai are about to come in contact with me, all you hear is the slight like deflect or ting sound of kunai hitting wood as two puppets come up behind me and kind of push the kunai out of the way.
God, I love your puppets. Maybe Tita just shouts like "behind you" or something like that to add a little extra response time. Okay. Moku, it is now your turn. Now, because you used a ninpo there, did that ninpo have a cost associated with it? Your arrow catching? Gabe? Did we lose Gabe? Yeah. Anybody hear me?
Hello? Yep.
Hello.
I think our
Zoom.
our Zoom crashed on us for a moment there. I think we're back-ish.
Hey, I DC'd from the Zoom meeting.
Yep.
All of us did.
Yep.
I think we're in different
Oh.
places.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and switch this really quickly to the starting thing while I fix. Okay, let me see if that worked. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. What's it called? All right. All right. So Gabe, I was asking, did your ninpo that you use, your arrow catching ninpo, did it have a cost associated with it?
It just says you may use this ninpo when someone I copied this straight from the thing, so unless I missed something, it says it doesn't cost anything. It just says you may use this ninpo when somebody makes a successful range attack.
Okay, so go right ahead. It's your turn. You still have all 4 because like you still have all 4 of your cost to use. You can still use ninpo. What would you like to do?
Okay.
Arrow catching has a cost of 1.
What is it?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Arrow catching has a cost of 1.
Okay, so then you can only use ninpo up to 3.
Okay.
Wait, is that all I can do?
I didn't see the cost.
Was there more that you wanted to do? Oh my gosh, I am going crazy.
At 5 speed, like I can do more, right?
You can
like one attack at a time.
You can only do 1 attack, but if you have another ninpo that which you would like to do, or if you wanted to pop a life bead or something, you're welcome to do that. Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I don't have anything.
Okay. My computer's starting to shit the bed here. Okay. All right. So then yeah, it's your turn, Gabe.
Okay. Oh, I see the cost now. Okay. Okay. Then I will go ahead and what is considered a mob attack? What does that mean? Does that just mean like an area of effect or
a mob attack? Do you actually have ninpo that are mob attacks?
Yes.
Okay.
Phantom soldiers.
Your puppets, I assume. Okay.
Yes.
So I actually didn't write this one down. I wasn't sure if anyone was doing it, but I have the page number. I can look it up really quick for you. It's a little bit different. Basically, what it allows you to do is it allows you to like apply status ailments and stuff like that with your whatever your mobs are. So let me.
Okay.
So I'm pulling it up.
Instead of causing life point damage, they cause defending characters to suffer a status ailment.
Right. Exactly.
And there's a status ailment table.
Right. So they don't actually do damage, but they do that. They can do other things. Okay.
Okay. So then I would do doesn't say Oh, ranges too. Okay, got it. Okay, then yeah, I'll do Phantom Soldiers Nimpo on Morio.
I just realized because Justin just mentioned in the channel. Did you build Shaco?
No,
It's
'cause
basically
I'm
what you
using-
got. You got
No.
Jack in the boxes over here.
no, I don't got Jack in the
Oh,
boxes. I got
Conqueror.
puppets.
Okay.
Or Kankuro or whatever.
All right. Is anybody looking to aid him with with sort of an emo mod in this in this?
It damaging everyone.
No, it would just be. It's not even like a damage. It just applies a status ailment to Morio.
Okay. Go ahead and roll then.
Basically, what mob attack means is there's multiple like attackers.
Mm-hmm. A bunch of
Not
little
that
puppets
it's,
come
like,
out and start
multiple
beating him up.
effects.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's illusion. Did it pop up for you guys?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's a success. So go ahead and roll. So then I think you still get a dodge though. So who was getting targeted by that?
Morio.
Okay, so Morio, go ahead and roll an illusion check to try to dodge.
Hmm.
You just can't. Just fail everything, dude.
Oh no.
Oh man, that's a shame. Okay.
What am I conditioned with?
So then go ahead.
Then I have to go to the status. Or here, I can just roll the status ailment table. Correct? Okay.
Correct. You are missing an action during the main phase. You can no longer appear at the end of every cycle. Make a finances check. Roll again because it doesn't do shit.
Okay.
Heavy wound. When you make an attack check, information check, or emotion check, you take a point of close combat damage at the end of every cycle. Make a survival check. Okay. So you have a heavy wound, Mario. That's one of the puppets really lay into you. All right. Anything else you doing on your turn, Moku?
What? I don't really know what.
You can do as many Nimpo up to a cost equal to your plot value. So right now you have 4.
Okay, so I can. Okay, so that one costs.
But you can only use one attack Nimpo.
Okay, got it.
So if you have any other sports stuff, and you can use items and stuff. If you have ninja items you want to use, that kind of thing.
Okay, no, that should be it.
Okay, Hina, you're up.
Okay. I want to. Where is it? I took screenshots.
Stream is freaking out. I'm getting like these
Yeah,
weird
it
little
is.
head. Yeah, I think my computer's dying.
My puppets.
Hina's gonna do Vortex of Blood.
Yeah. Okay.
It's an attack. It's a close combat attack. If the attack is successful, it can deal 1 close combat damage to the target. And so in doing so, Hina's will kind of throw her right arm out, and you'll watch the shadows just start to rip from underneath her hair and cover her arm until it kind of grows and has like claws, kind of. And then she'll go and she'll just swipe at you.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that check.
Okay, so do I roll on Vortex of Blood or under Transformation?
I think it's Vortex of Blood. Because it does. Your assigned skill target was 5, range was 3, cost of 1. And you rolled a 6, so that's a success.
Wait.
All right, so then you get to dodge. Tina, remember that you have a -2. You actually have to roll the same skill, which is Transformation. So go ahead and try that.
I do I?
Unless you have some sort of Nimpo that does something else.
So I'm looking at, I have counter, but I have to have successfully dodged first.
Nope.
And this is not going to work.
All right, so go ahead and roll your transformation at -2. Now, I should say, we have the opportunity if anybody wants to help her out. Remember, we have emo mods that you can use to try to help people. So remember that an emo mod, when they attempt a skill check, if you have a positive emo mod, you can give them a +1. Anybody?
I will emo bond with Tina or Aid.
Okay.
whatever.
So
mod.
so instead of it being
Emo mod.
instead of it being a -2 penalty on this dodge, it'll just be a -1. So go ahead and roll.
I did, and I failed miserably. Transformation was
you
like the
have to crit?
farthest I needed a crit to
Okay.
possibly succeed in it.
So then I'm gonna proceed with that and do a support nimpo.
You almost crit too. That's
I'm
fun.
gonna do emotional manipulation. So you may use this nimpo after you have successfully attacked another character. On a successful skill check of this nimpo skill, choose a character affected by your attack and change one of their emotional bonds to anything that I wish.
Okay.
Oh God.
So what I am going to do is I'm gonna roll this.
Okay.
Got a 10, pass.
Yep.
I'm gonna change. Tina, who do you have bonds with?
I have. So I feel empathy toward Moku. He feels admiration towards me, and then I feel empathy toward you, and you feel friendship to me.
Okay. I'm going to change your bond to Moku to negative.
So how does this actually happen? Because it's like mental manipulation, right?
Yeah. So, basically, Hina just like scratches Tina, and as Tina is recovering, staggered back, kind of like maybe like holding her chest or something, Hina will turn and she'll throw out some shadows, and she'll have shadows whispering in Moku's ear, and then another shadow whispering in Tina's ear, kind of just telling her like, kind of like, you know, the angel and devil on your shoulder kind of thing, just telling her
Yes.
awful things, and how she can't trust Moku, and who do you think you are to think that you have friends, and just terrible things.
Okay. Very nice. And then it is. Are you done? By the way, yeah. Is that it? Oh, you're done. All right, Tina, last of the round.
Good gracious.
Hey,
I didn't.
You picked the two.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. Well, you know.
Oh, did you mark your damage? Sorry to
Oh,
interrupt.
roll a d6. Roll a d6, Ashley.
Is it? It's one close combat damage.
On the upper left hand, yeah, it's a random. So on the upper left, see that menu to the left, that vertical menu, you can pick a d6 from there. Just roll a d6.
I rolled a 6.
Okay, so that means it's the one on the far right, which I think is
Sorcery.
sorcery. Yeah. So,
Which I don't have anything in, so.
jeez. Okay.
Works
All
out,
right.
works out. That's fine.
What do you want to do?
Well, you know, screw you. I'm gonna attack you now. I was enjoying my friend with the puppets. So I basically am just gonna do a close combat.
Okay.
No, I can't. Yes, I can. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, you can. With her.
Okay. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do.
She's close enough.
Okay. So close combat, hidden weapon. Not quite so hidden, but you know, kind of do the same dagger, stabby stab.
Okay. That's a success.
Is a success.
So you can go ahead and roll hidden weapons for your dodge. Hina with a -2 penalty.
That's
range.
under, what is that?
The one all the way to the left.
It's tech. I think it's tech.
Tech.
Okay.
That is a fail. So you will go ahead and take 1d6 damage of close combat damage in return.
Okay.
And that's 2. So that should be martial arts.
Okay.
And guess what I have?
The
What?
prize.
Emotional manipulation.
Okay. What are you going to do?
So, who do you have emo bonds with?
All of you. All positive. Are you gonna make ours negative?
You have positive bonds with everybody?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll do ours.
Okay.
Long as being devoured by the void. Long as being eaten by puppets is what's happening. Oh, man. What are we doing? What'd you roll?
Oh, sorry.
You're doing a manipulation, you said, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Sorry. I forgot I needed to actually roll that. And I was like, yeah, I just did it.
Yeah. Don't forget you guys have Ogies. No one knows your Ogies yet, so it'll go through the first time at least.
Emotional manipulation is Inception for me.
Mm-hmm. You could just roll from the Nimpo list.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a success.
Succeeded.
So
Yep.
go ahead and change your emo bonds then.
So the thought that I had put in your mind is that we were never friends to begin with.
Wow, so sassy. All right, that is the end of the first round. So now we got to go back to the plot phase of round 2. So same thing. Think about what if you have any plot Nimpo that you want to do now, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, you can go ahead and send me you can whisper me your plot value. Let's go. Let's get them plot values in. Missing Tina. Tina, plot value. There we go. Okay, so Tina is going to go to 3. Hina is now 5. Morio is also 3. And then Moku. This mother is going to 6. Now, there's always pros and cons to this because on the pro you have more to work with for your high cost Ninpo. On the downside, the likelihood of fumbling is higher because your plot value is associated with your fumble chance.
I never fumble.
Does
That's my boy.
your
Love
previous
the comments.
remaining Nimpo or points go towards your plot value towards your next round or no?
No, every round it's basically a new thing. You're welcome to use Ninpo during the plot value or during the plot if you have like a Ninpo that can be used like during initiative basically. And if you can, it doesn't actually count towards your total cost so long as it doesn't exceed the plot value that you're choosing. So, Moku, you're up. What you doing?
Let's see.
Kill somebody. Kill these bitches, Gabe, is what Justin said. That's what he said. Kill 'em.
2, 3.
Rain's pouring down. Something clattered out of Tina's hand into a puddle nearby, but you're too busy fighting with these other people to notice what it is. Maybe it's the dagger, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's a microphone, an umbrella, who knows?
Got nothing. So I can't like move or anything, correct? Like our ranges are what they're at.
Your ranges are fixed unless you have Nimpo that allow you to move your plot.
Okay. Well, in that case, then I will do a close combat attack on Tina since she's the only one in range.
Hina.
Oh, sorry, Hina. I apologize. Yeah, Hina.
See what you did? You see what you did?
Yep, I did the same thing. Yep.
It's easy. Make that a little more visible. There we go. Okay. All right, so go ahead and do that.
So that's...
Again, you've refreshed you've refreshed your everyone's emo modding, so like you can always help people and stuff like again or hurt people depending upon your emo bonds.
Okay.
You're back to being able to do that.
I will
Oh, sorry.
support.
Okay, so plus
I'll
1
consider
to
it spent. I spent my email
Okay.
on to help you.
You can also influence once. Oh, actually, that's for people not in the scene. Sorry, my bad. Okay, that's success. So then, describe what's happening.
So it's multiplicity. So as I approach her with my fist barreled back, out from behind my shoulder come multiple puppets, all with their fist stretched out, and all of us combine into one giant wood puppet fist and just punch her right in the face.
Holy crap. Hina, roll a dodge, roll multiplicity for dodge with a -2. If anybody wants to help her, call it out now.
Is multiplicity his thing or it is the thing?
You
Okay.
Dodge checks are always the skill that's being used.
Yeah. All right, I'm rolling. Pass.
That's actually barely a pass with a -2. It still gives you 9, which hits your target. So yeah. So you see the fist coming, dodge out of the way. All right. What else you want to do, Moku? Anymore, Nimpo?
No, unfortunately, that's all I can really do.
Okay, Hina, you're up.
Hina will kind of like scoff at Moku and go, I think you forget the actual point of this confrontation. And she'll turn towards Tina. And I am going to try and do demonic rebirth.
Ooh.
That sounds awful.
Yep.
Okay.
So the most critical moment, you're reminded of a crucial chapter of your life. So basically, I'm doing a flashback.
Okay.
You may use this during a combat scene instead of making an attack. On a successful skill check of this Nimpo skill, you lose 1 life point, and you may immediately begin a drama scene where I am the scene player. Well, actually, like, what's the point of doing this? Actually, doesn't sound as cool as it was.
Getting an emo bond or something so that you can help somebody or hurt somebody, maybe.
No. Maybe
Also-
I won't do that.
Okay.
I am instead. So, do I have to use Nimpo, or can I just use my skills?
Skills.
Because I want to possess her, is what I want to do.
Okay. What and you have no powers that allow you to do that?
I have a skill in sorcery that allows possession, but the closest one I could find in a Nimpo list was demonic rebirth.
I don't think it works quite like that. I think when we're in the I think that could have worked in drama scenes, but I think in the
but not in
combat,
this.
I think you're just using your Nimpo as your powers at this point, your ninja powers.
Okay. So then I'm just gonna do vortex of
Question.
blood again because it's got a range of 3.
All right, go for it. I'm just taking a note to look that up later. Okay, that is a success. So then, Tina, you gotta dodge.
Which I can't because I took damage in sorcery. So I don't have access to any of those.
You could always dodge, and if you get a crit, it basically dodges. So you can roll your 2 die and see if you get 2 6s. If you get 2 6s, then you're good. Are you?
She always has the clutch. Are you kidding me?
So ridiculous.
Nice.
So ridiculous. Okay. So it looks like you had her. It looks like as the vortex swirls around her, like she falls to the ground. You can see her kind of reaching up, no stop, and she managed to just sort of flick her wrist just a little bit, and you see the vortex just dissipate, negated. Anything else you want to do, Hina?
I will do emotional manipulation.
Okay, that's a success. Who were you targeting?
Tina.
And what did you want to do to Tina?
I'm going to make her relationship. Do you have a relationship with Morio?
No,
Okay.
Okay. I can't create one.
I don't think so.
So I'm going to make our emo bond positive again.
Just kidding.
So many emotions happening.
Jeez.
Not even that. It's mostly just gonna be like, we had something, and even though we're fighting for our clans, there's
Baby,
still some
come back.
emotion there.
You can blame it all on me.
I can never stay mad at you.
All right. So then both Tina and Mario are actually in the same plot value. So what happens in this case is that your stuff happens simultaneously. So if you were to target each other or shoot out status ailments, none of it actually takes effect until after both of you have gone. So if Mario were to attack Tina and she took a status ailment, that might have affected her skill check. When Tina does actually resolve her turn, she wouldn't get that skill check penalty yet because technically they're happening at the same time. Does that make sense? All right. So Mario, you're at the top, so I'm gonna have you go first. Go top to bottom.
All right, so I use Nimpo Evening Calm. So close combat attack, the same plot value. I could strike first.
Okay.
So let's use the skill Shuriken. So I'll be like, You know, I'll always have the first serve, and I'll strike her with a shuriken.
Okay. And you will.
Hey.
Look at you, buddy. You
Oh
killed
my
somebody.
God. There you go.
Barely, but I mean you did. Maybe you're only using one die. I don't know what's going on. Okay. So then, does she get to dodge? I know you said you attack first. Does she get a dodge with that?
She should.
Okay. Wasn't
Yeah.
sure if your Nimpo specifically said something otherwise.
No, it doesn't.
All right.
Oh, that's a fail.
That is a fail because of the -2 from the Waterfield battle chart, and
I forgot about
because
that.
you didn't see if anyone would help you too. So you will go ahead.
That'll be 1 damage.
Go ahead and roll your d6. So what's your third thing?
Stealth.
You have no longer have access to stealth. You're down to 4 life points, I think, right?
Uh-huh.
Are you doing anything else in your turn there, Morio?
That's it.
Okay. Tina, your turn.
Close combat hidden weapons.
Okay.
I am stabbing back.
All right. That's good. Hidden weapons dodge for Morio. Again, if you want to help anybody, just call it out like as it's happening, so you know.
Hidden weapon. I can't because I have tech damage, right? Or is
Yeah,
that...
you can still roll it. And if you get a crit, you're good.
Okay.
Like Melissa did, but you probably won't because you suck.
I can help Morio with this one.
I think he still needs to roll a crit though. Actually, 12. Technically, it's 12. So if he rolls an 11, I think your help might.
Yeah.
So go ahead. That's an 8 total. If not, if you actually had your technology skills still, that would have actually been good.
Well, if I helped, that puts him to a 10, and it's a -2,
No, it doesn't.
right?
I need
Nope.
12.
Oh, okay.
He needs a 12. Okay. So then, Tina, are you doing anything else?
So then I roll damage.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's tech.
So
Roll again because I already have damage there.
no, you actually get to choose.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so when you're assigning damage, if the category is already damaged, the victim can then choose which category receives the damage.
All right, I'll do strategy.
All right, top of the next
I'm gonna
round. then.
try to do emotional manipulation real quick
Okay, go ahead.
on him. So that is shoot, what did I put up here? Inception.
Okay.
Succeeded, so I'm trying to make friendly with
Inception.
So you want him to be friends with you
You
now?
can't actually create a bond.
Oh, that's right. I can just
You can
Oh, that's
only
right.
edit what already has been there.
Okay.
that's right. Never mind. Never
All
mind.
right. All right. Top of the third round. You guys can hear what sounds like is that a horn? And you look off in the distance and you can see that there's a whole string of cars, of convoys, these bright lights in the distance, and you know that the convoy from the Hirosaki agency is getting close, getting ready to surround this parking lot and take the dagger and run with it. So we're top of the round 3. Don't forget you have Ogi to use. Don't forget that you have flashbacks to use. None of you have used those either. So those are always the things to consider. Go ahead and whisper me your plot values when you are ready. I still need Tina and Hina. All right, so Moku is 4, Morio is 3, Hina is 3, and then Tina is 2. Moku, you're up first again.
Okay. I'm gonna do. I'll just do close quarter combat
Okay,
on Morio.
go for it.
Let's see.
Looks good. So again, the puppets are coming out in their wonderful organized glory. Morio, you got to roll multiplicity to dodge. Anybody helping?
What's that under?
It's under stealth.
Yeah, it's like the second from the bottom or third from the bottom.
Okay.
All right, with a -2, that's a fail. It was a fail anyway. So what kind? So one close quarter damage, or is it status ailments?
1 close quarter damage.
Okay, go ahead and take that 1 close quarter damage. Have you been taking damage from your heavy wound, by the way?
What is
Probably
it
not.
again?
Says when you make an attack check, information check, or emotion check, you take a point of close combat damage at the end of every cycle. Make a survival check.
Okay, so you
A
should.
success removes this ailment.
Okay, so I'll say at the end of the round you could have made a survival check. So make a survival check. We'll see if you would have gotten rid of it. Of course you didn't. So take 1 point of close combat damage. I got it.
You successfully attacked anybody?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
once.
you. So 4, fourth category.
Okay.
So then it would go away after the
So-
successful attack.
No, I thought it was damage on.
He
an
takes
attack.
damage, right?
Yeah, take damage.
Takes damage
Yeah, it
on an
doesn't
attack.
go
It's a
away.
successful survival check that gets rid of it. Though if you do take a life bead, you can get rid of the status ailment. Don't forget.
When can I take this?
Anytime. On your
Okay.
turn, anytime on your turn, you can. It should tell you in the description, but for that, I think it's anytime.
Everybody
on your
has
turn.
one.
Moku, anything else?
What am I limited to in terms of like how many things I can do?
Just your plot value. You have 4 cost, so
Okay.
So you can use ninpo up to 4 total cost. Only one of them can be attack though. You can also use your ogi as well.
Okay. Then in that case, I will use my ogi because if I can only if combat only says that I can use 1 attack, that means I can no longer use close quarters combat. Correct?
On that same turn, yeah.
On that same turn, correct? Okay. So,
You can only do 1 attack nimpo per turn, but you can do an attack nimpo and an ogi on the same turn because they're 2 different things.
okay. Thank you. That answered the question then.
That's what I thought.
Then in that case, I will do my ogi, and it's. Am I describing it? What's happening?
Oh, you're fucking describing it. Are you kidding?
Okay.
It's an ogi?
So
Come on, buddy.
Yeah. So as I'm looking at Morio, after I do a close quarters attack, my body falls limp on the floor, and then I start to rise much like a puppet would, being dangled by strings, and then I start to do a little puppet dance, and then out from the ground comes the children that I've been who have passed in the hospital that I've been caring for and telling stories and stuff. Any children that has passed has been placed into my puppets, and these puppets are rising out of the ground.
Oh my gosh, man. That's so
And-
hard. That's so heartbreaking and creepy at the same time. Do you have a name for this
Yes,
ogi?
yes. The ogi is, hold on, I wrote it down. Is the hold on, where is it? I wrote it down somewhere. I'm ruining the moment. Hold on,
It's okay, man. It's all great.
I wrote it down.
Are we supposed to know the name?
Oh, here it is. The dark reincarnation of the Komodachi.
Oh, it's beautiful. Dark Recodation. So how does it sound when you go to call and you fall down to the ground? Like, do you whisper it? Do you yell it? What is it you say when you call the specific ability into play?
So after I fall limp on the ground, and when I start to raise much like a puppet, my head kind of like comes up, and then the children that I had summoned all say the dark reincarnation of the Komodachi all together in unison.
Oh God, that's even now it's more creepy than touching. Oh, it's
I
great.
love it.
All right, so what is the effect of it? Like, what kind of nympho?
So I get extra nimpo.
Okay.
So because you said I can only use 1 attack and 1 ogi, my ogi gives me the ability to use. In this case, I chose Phantom Soldier,
Okay.
so I can use an attack nimpo
Do
for
it.
Phantom Soldier.
Do
So
it.
I will use.
Kill him.
I'll use Phantom Soldier on.
Going down long. You're fucking going down.
Why me?
Because why not? Where is it? Illusion. There it is.
GT. That's a success. Goes through.
And then that's a status ailment.
So go ahead and roll in the status ailment chart for him.
Does he get? So it automatically goes through because it's
Automatically goes
okay.
through. Oh, but now everybody saw it, so everybody now knows that Ogi, and that what that means is that if he tries to use it again, because you can use it once per round, then you can attempt to break it. Well,
Okay, got it.
Okay, but that goes through right there, no problem.
Hey, look, another heavy one.
Another heavy wound.
It doesn't stack.
So
So then
roll again.
do it again. Okay.
All of your ninja gear becomes unused.
Wow.
All the puppets start pulling out all of his ninja gear and start smashing it on the ground and breaking it.
There goes my life bead.
You're so screwed.
Wow.
Oh boy. Well, Mario, it is your turn now. What would you like to do? Oh my god.
After being swarmed by puppets.
And children.
Children, yeah.
Ghostly voices of children in unison saying.
That's awesome.
That's so good.
I'm still focused on my targets. I have to do a ranged attack against, or no, I can do close combat actually
Yeah, you run away.
against Tina
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
to, let's see, sleight of hand attack. So even though I'm swarmed by this, I'll throw out a sneak attack her way. Yeah, wrong button.
Hey, got
There we go.
it. Look at you. Okay, so you want to dodge out of the way? Sleight of hand in response. That is a fumble. That is a fumble. So that is 2 minus 2, which would be 0, which is beneath your plot value. So a fumble in in a battle scene, fumble is equal to or less. You suffer backlash. So this is the first time I've gotten backlash. When a character rolls a fumble during an attack resolution, they automatically fail all subsequent skill checks that round, and I have to move you to the fumble area. Corresponding to their plot value. You can still attempt actions that don't require skill checks, like using your ninja gear or Ogi, or if you have some Nimpo that allows skill checks, even while backlashed. So you come down into the fumble area. What else you doing there, Morio? Anything else? Wow.
Yeah, I'm taking a heavy wound
Okay.
and rolling survival, try to get rid of it.
Go for it. Oh boy.
Roll my wound.
Enjoy that wound.
I got it. I'll just do it.
Got a puppet foot stuck in your eye.
3.
Oh.
Stealth. Okay.
Okay.
And then
How
I'll
much damage do you have?
It's not important. You don't need to know.
also do the engineering roll to
Okay.
do for breakdown.
Go for it. Jeez, man.
All right.
Mm,
All right.
Jeez. Hina, what are you doing this round?
Hina is going to hit Tina with Vortex of Blood again.
yeah, we're
She's gonna
friends
try.
again.
You're just getting so many mixed messages.
You still got that dagger.
That is a success. Barely, but it's a success.
And then can she roll to dodge since she's in the fumble area or no?
She automatically fails all skill checks.
Okay. So that's 1 close combat damage.
Roll it. Or I can do it. I got it.
Okay.
Gives me something to do. That's a 6.
So you can choose which one it goes
Since
into,
you already
I
have
believe.
sorcery. Yeah, she already has sorcery, so you can pick something else.
Okay, done.
Okay, and then I am going to do my Oni.
Okay.
On Tina.
Your
Or
Ogi?
my Ogi, not
Okay.
my Oni. So my Ogi is critical hit.
Yeah, it is.
Shit.
Yep.
You're fucking dead, yo.
Killer.
So I can do that within 1 plot value of the target.
Yep.
I choose 4 categories at random by rolling die, and it marks those life points as lost.
Oh shit. 4?
Jesus.
Did you say 4?
4. But if I think on that, if you roll one that already has been taken, it's just lost. So like if you
Yeah.
roll sorcery again, you don't re-roll it or you don't pick something else.
Yeah, you don't pick something
So
else.
if you roll well, you're about to kill her. If you don't
Yeah.
roll well, she might be still alive.
Yeah.
All right. So so go ahead. You want me to roll it for you? The d6s.
Do you yeah, do we roll first and then I describe or what?
Let's roll. Yeah, let's roll first just to get.
Okay.
And so because if she dies, it'll be even more fun. Or if she goes down, I should say. All right. So 4d6. Here we go. We got a 4, 3, 3, and 4. So did you have anything in 3 or 4?
1, 2, 3, 4. 3 I've already lost.
All right. What about 4?
So I would be losing 4.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So then go ahead and describe what happens then.
So Hina kind of stands there and again shadows start to bleed from her fingertips as if flames eating up her body. And as this happens, you start to see like kind of like another head like pop out from her neck, like a shadow form.
Jeez.
As more shadows start to climb and crawl on top of each other until she's got this monstrous arm just made out of random body parts that she just slams onto you as she slams you into the ground, and holds you there with that gross monstrous arm as more shadows pile on top of you until you can't be seen anymore. And then you hear these creepy voices whisper, and kind of from everywhere, not from any one location. Demon blade formation, soul slash, as you feel almost as if it's trying to directly rip at your soul.
Awesome. That's
Damn.
fucking awesome. Oh, I love it. I hesitate to add anything else you would like to do on this turn, or are you all done?
I can only do one attack.
If you have so if you have any Nimpo that are cheap, like 0 or 1, you can probably do that if it's a support Nimpo, but otherwise or you can use a ninja gear item if you wanted to use that. If you have like a life bead, if you've taken damage. Those are things you can do.
I do have a life bead, but I also have tough on my Nimpo list, which gives me 2 extra.
Oh, she's like so tanky. Okay.
Yeah.
So then we're gonna go over to Tina.
But yeah, there's no point in me doing emotional manipulation on anything. So yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Especially since no one's really doing the emo mod thing. Tina laying on the ground, filled with these dagger cuts from Morio. You think it can't get any worse, and then all of a sudden, shadows just begin to like swarm around you, and they're saying things in your mind, and you feel your soul ripping out. What would you like to do, even knowing that you cannot pass a skill check?
So what do those life beads do?
Basically, you can recover a life point, or you can recover from a status ailment.
So I am going to do that. I'm going to bring back my sorcery, so maybe I can try to defend some of this stuff that's coming my way.
All right.
And then I can use my Ogi, right?
Yes, Ogi is fine as well, because it doesn't require a skill check.
Okay. So what you're going to see from me, because I am wearing a jacket, and so what you're going to see is that I am going to kind of take the jacket off, and then I'm going to kind of very quickly just sort of shake the jacket and put it back on again. And while that's happening, everyone in the area would sort of have to blink twice, because it almost seems like there was like a lizard or an iguana or something that sort of like came out of the jacket and sort of like kind of encircled where I was, and then like as I put the jacket back on, kind of like went back into the pocket of the jacket. So the Ogi that I have is called the Lizard Haze Hidden Technique, and it is Immortal Body.
Okay.
So basically you recover life points equal to a roll of 1d6 minus the number of times the Ogi has been used this session.
Okay.
Including the current use.
Do you want to roll it?
1d6 minus 1 LP.
Go ahead. You can roll if you like.
Okay, so 1d6.
Oh, that's
no.
It's still a minimum of 1, so you're good. So
it's minus 1.
No, it's your first time using it though, isn't it?
Did I miss something in the description?
The most you could have gone up to was 5.
The first use of this Ogi recovers 1d6 minus 1 LP.
Oh, okay. All right.
So there is no minimum.
Oh, man.
It's all fair because I've been rolling.
Yes, it's
really
all coming
Sure.
back.
Yeah, you have.
The freaking skillless crit. Okay. All right, here we go. As you look in the distance, those cars are getting even closer. Lightning's beginning to strike. You see a lightning bolt hit one of the security lamps, and it begins to spark and fall over. And you can see this cascading bits of sparks with the rain still coming down around this puddle within which this wrapped up canvas sack is. And you all begin to hear like whispers of a language you can't quite discern. It sounds faintly familiar, but not quite. And you know that somewhere in this area, the dagger, the god of mists, is beginning to emanate its power. Plot value time. Whisper what you like. We're getting near the end here.
Oops, I'm on the wrong screen.
Tina? All right. Tina's 4. Mario's 4. One of them is dead.
Yes.
One of them is so dead this round, and then Hina is only as fast as a shadow. All right, Moku, starting with you one more time. At this point, everybody's Ogi but Morio's has been used, I believe. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Go ahead, Moku. What do you want to do?
Okay. I'm gonna do close combat attack on Morio.
Go for it.
You're not going for the dagger?
That'll come in time.
I really feel like both of them might die this round. There you go. The puppets come a marching once more.
What is it?
Multiplicity. It's stealth.
It's stealth.
Do you have any?
I believe
skill
you
up?
lost that, right?
I believe he did too.
And you're bleeding from your eye because you have a puppet foot in there, and then
He can't use any of his ninja
All
gear
all
because
my
the puppets are
puppets
stopping up.
yeah.
All right, I'm dropping my Ogi here.
All right, let's
There we go.
go for it, man.
So, let's see. So all of a sudden, you see a gust of wind, constant gust of wind burst up around me. So everything's flowing, and that encapsulates a like spherical region. All of a sudden, it just comes the heavy rain, the thunder. It all just breaks to silence, and you're brought in with me. So this will be unlimited break, infinite creation of reality. So
What?
create an artificial world within this reality. My ninja or my eyes start glowing purple, and it's pretty much this space is a mind space. And I brought you inside, so you're forced to experience this repeated scenario until I successfully succeed. So it becomes
the
a true
fuck?
reality.
wait.
That's awesome.
In this reality, are there puppets?
Okay, Itachi.
Yeah, it's everything's happening, but I'm just like redoing the scenario until it comes out to
okay.
my favor, sort of thing. And
Okay,
it's like,
Doctor Strange.
yeah, I don't see that show, so whatever. All right, here we go.
It's a movie, but that's fine.
I didn't want to say it, but
Also, they just announced a new director, Sam Raimi. It's gonna be taken over. For Doctor Strange.
So I think it's like skill check automatically succeeds.
It does.
Yeah.
Your Ogi automatically succeeds unless somebody knows it, and then they have it. They can attempt to break it, but you're good. Okay. So everybody's has now come through. All right. Anything else that we have to do to resolve that?
Uh,
I think we're all good.
so yeah, pretty much we're fighting puppets infinitely until I win, I guess. Sort of thing. Or I dodge the attack. That's what it was. Yes, for your dodge.
Okay. So you then should. So do you? So I think I misunderstood. Then are you re-rolling?
That was for the.
I think that's like an auto dodge, right?
Yeah.
Perfect success doesn't count as a crit, but the check result is treated as a 10.
Okay.
So my roll is a 10, I guess.
So, and what would the difficulty be for that?
For multiplicity, it's a 7.
So -2 would be 8. So you're good. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that would work. So you dodge the attack. Okay. Moku, you want to do anything else? That was still your turn. He did that on.
Yeah. Couldn't I could use my Ogi again, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, then I will.
But everyone can now potentially break it.
Okay, then I will use my Ogi and use Phantom Soldiers again on Morio.
Okay, so if other characters in the scene know the details of an Ogi, they can try an Ogi break. This requires a skill check using the target Ogi's assigned skill. If successful, the Ogi is broken and has no effect on any character. So does anybody want to attempt to break this crazy puppet thing that Moku is doing?
Yes, I'm breaking this Ogi.
Okay, so what is the assigned skill?
Illusion.
All right, roll an illusion check.
I use my Ogi to use on the skill check. Is that possible?
You can use it once per.
You can only use an Ogi once per round. And you used it on his close combat attack, so
All right.
you got to roll it normal.
Illusion. Nice.
Well, that's a shame. Oh, no, actually, that's not a dodge check. Never mind. That's good. That's a success. I was like -2. All right, so that Ogi. So you see the puppets begin to start to limply chant that strange noise again. You see Moku fall limp. Morio, just how do you break it? What does it look like? Paint the picture for us.
Yes, after observing his first time he used it.
Puppet me once, shame on you.
Yeah, but this time I can see that there's invisible strings that are actually running them, so I throw all my shurikens at those to disconnect.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And the children fall to the ground. Okay, Tina, you're at the top of 4, so you can go ahead and go.
Okay, I'm just gonna do combat.
Okay. Who are you attacking? You got to call it out.
Morio.
Okay. He will still get to go,
Success.
though. Okay, so go ahead.
I use my evening calm and I strike first because I wait for their attack as my ninpo.
Okay.
Pow.
That's an excess. Same plot value. Strike first deals 1 close combat damage. I still think strike first might be like you do damage before they have a chance to dodge. That's my guess. We should look that up. It's another thing I'm putting down.
Well, because both people on the same plot point had their actions happen at the same time.
Simultaneous attacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So then-
wouldn't Morio's go off first anyways, just because he has first attack
Yeah.
Because he has because of the evening calm.
because of the evening calm? Correct.
Okay.
Right.
So but you can still
So-
roll your dodge for that though. So it's a shuriken.
I can't.
Roll your,
Just in case it's a crit. It's not a crit.
unfortunately. So
It's close.
It was real close.
I got the
So you want to
damage.
roll damage?
I got it. 5.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. That's strategy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So then you would need to roll dodge as well, Morio, for her hidden weapons attack.
I have to take damage first for heavy wound.
I gotcha. 5.
I already have damage
All
there.
right. You're okay.
Okay, I'll change it.
Can you dodge
Oh yeah, dodge.
her
What
hidden
is it?
weapons? Hidden weapons.
I will in a second. Oh, okay. No, I didn't.
All right. 1 close combat damage coming up. 1 tech.
All right, I already have damage there, so
So pick.
Okay.
What do you have left?
Do you have anything left? You must have tough.
2.
You have to have
I do have tough, yeah.
That's what I figured. There's no way you would have been surviving so long.
I'm gonna roll for my curing.
Survival.
Survival.
Survival, I think, yeah. So go ahead and roll survival. Tina, was there anything else you were looking to do?
I'm gonna try my.
Jesus, man.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow.
I like it because I got this. I put this game specifically together because I wanted Log and Josh and Coder to play because like they all love their anime. 2 of them couldn't play tonight, and then one of them sucks at this game.
Hey, 3 4s in a row. What do I win?
I think you're dead. I think you're
Okay.
dead. That's the rule. Tina, what else you doing?
I'm gonna try my Ogi again.
Okay, who are you targeting? Or no, it's on yourself.
That's me. Yeah.
Is anybody looking to break it?
Yeah, I'm breaking it.
Go for it. What's the skill that you assigned to your Ogi?
That's a good question.
Can only
What
one person break
skill?
it?
No, anyone can. Anyone can attempt. You pick it. I like how we can hear whatever Melissa like clicks her mouse. Thump, thump. It's like the T-Rex is coming. Look out.
Oh, we have laptop mouses. Hold on. I did some other thing that I gotta.
So, how's everybody doing? Doing all right? Doing this fun? It's fun. Is anyone actually still watching us? This is going really long. We're gonna probably next time we play Shinobigami, remind me to split this into 2 nights.
Yeah, we got a couple people.
I'm just
If there
gonna.
are
do
people
hidden
still here.
weapons.
Thank you for sticking around.
Hidden weapons.
Hidden weapons. All right, go ahead and
I have to crit that, so here we go.
do it.
Oh,
Nope. So
Did you lose tech?
Hina said.
Yeah.
If you can he do it if he doesn't have tech?
It's a crit, but I'm not sure how. Yeah, it's like the same thing with you. Like if you do the D6, the double D6. Go ahead and roll. Hina, you said you wanted to do it as well. Hina.
Yeah. Didn't get it.
Okay. And then Moku, are you okay with letting it go through?
I'll allow it.
Oh, okay.
All right. Go ahead and let it go through. So you heal, you said, right?
Yeah.
1d6 minus 2 this time, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I was
Oh,
going to roll
no.
that.
So the only thing I get to do is roll those damages. Sorry. All right. All right. You're done. Hina, your turn.
All right. We already know what's happening. We're doing some more vortex of blood on Miss Tina.
Okay. Roll it. Success.
I will bond with Tina to help.
Okay. +1 on this, Tina. On your
Does she
dodge
still have to crit for this or no?
check. It's skill
Practically.
transformation. Go ahead and roll.
Yeah, that's just I can't.
That's another fumble.
Yeah, no.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
no.
Oh boy, that's a shame. Such a
Right.
shame. So you suffer
Gambit.
backlash. You suffer backlash again. Where
My
did I put
+1
back?
doesn't change that effect at all. It's
No,
automatically okay.
no. I mean, fumble. Well, it's not automatic. It's just her plot value is 4, and so that roll is underneath her plot value. So even
So it
with
means
your
the difference is only a 1 instead of a 2.
and your +1 puts her to 3, but then there's the -2
Oh,
from the
okay,
rain that puts her
got it.
back down to 1. So
Okay,
she rolled a
gotcha.
1 basically. So then backlash. So we move you down again to here. You fail all subsequent skill checks this round. Bright side is we're almost done with the round.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. Yep.
Damage that went with it.
Well, yeah, there's a normal damage, but that's just for the crit. Okay. So it is a. What kind of damage is it, Ashley?
Close combat. Or let me pull it up.
Transformation.
Transformation is just skill. It's just assigned skill is transformation. Vortex of blood, it should say.
It is deal 1 close combat damage to the target.
1 again.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, Hina?
So we have definitely established well, that's just okay, so never mind. I have to be right next to her for my Ogi.
Okay. as the rain continues to pour down, another lightning bolt strikes, and you can see that this parking lot lamp, two of them now, are beginning to fold inward towards the puddle that contains that wrapped item. Sparks still fluttering around it despite the rain. The cars are getting ever closer. There's not much left. There's not much time left. If anyone is going to do anything now would be a good time. Send me your plot values.
We're gonna count down and do it all at once.
Yeah.
So we have one more round.
Yep.
It's as long as I want to give it, basically, but we're running along, so this is probably the last round unless something crazy happens. So go ahead and send me your plot values, please.
3, 2, 1.
Morio taking it easy. Hina going 3. Moku's going big or going home. I don't even know if he's even taking damage. And
What's that? There's damage in this game?
Moku, you're up again. What do you want to do, man?
Shit. I don't look very good, by the way.
I'm gonna use aside from the combat, can we do anything else?
You can use your Ogi, you can use your ninja gear.
Okay, but I'm saying like in terms of like the story, the scene right now.
You can do a flashback scene, which will give you bonus to a roll.
Okay, I will do a flashback scene, and
reveal your secret.
So you would have to reveal your secret in doing so, and in the course of narrating or quickly role playing that scene, you would have to. It should be tied to your secret somehow.
Okay, yeah. I will reveal the secret in the flashback. So staring over at Tina as she's on the ground, I quickly look back over at Hina and realize, and then I go to the flashback scene where I wake up and there's just a bright light in front of my face, and I sit up out from my bed, and I'm back in the hospital when I'm a young boy, and I look to see all of the children with their visitors and parents, and realizing that once again I'm not going to see anyone. So I sit over at the edge of my bed and come to find out a younger reporter shows up to the hospital and starts interviewing children. And out of all the children who get interviewed, I'm the one that gets interviewed. And that reporter is Tina.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And after answering Tina's questions and realizing that people do care, she seemed to have struck a chord with me. And ever since then, I vowed to always make sure that children are as happy as I was when Tina came in to interview me that day. And ever since then, I've had a crush on Tina.
Ooh.
And I have to essentially make sure she does not die in the final combat, her final climax.
That was fantastic, man. Absolutely
Older
fantastic.
ladies, though.
That's it.
She was the only one that visited me.
It's true.
Age
Hey,
is just a number.
It's true. It is.
How old are you?
I'm 54. No.
I'm 37, I think, is what I put on my
That's
character.
not terrible.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
not
not bad.
Yeah, that's all right.
I
Later
thought
in
you were
life.
like.
Later in life, it is. Like 17 years is really bad when you're young. It scales. Okay. So you get a +3 on whatever roll you're about to attempt. So what are you doing to attempt?
I'm going to do Phantom Soldier on Hina.
Okay.
What's the
So
range on that?
That's 2.
Perfect.
Okay.
You're good.
So let me just double check that to make sure you have 2 range, costs 4. So we're good.
Mhm.
So then I will do Illusion.
Just enough. Actually, no, with your +3, that would have been an 8. So you're good. Yeah. So it definitely they come marching in towards Hina.
Can I dodge that or
Absolutely. Yeah, you do roll a dodge for it. Yep.
What?
Yeah, that is a fail
Oh yeah, because the rain.
because of the rain.
no? Damn.
So despite whatever your ability to sort of like your expertise with sorcery allows you to kind of see through some of the illusion of these strange little half puppets, half children, but the rain kind of obscures your vision and you lose sight of one that was sneaking up behind you and was able to get the hit in. So what kind of damage are we talking?
So this, just for clarification, it says it's a mob attack, and it says if successful, I deal 1 mob attack damage and 1 close combat damage.
Okay, so then
So the mob attack counts as a status ailment, and then they also take 1 close combat damage.
so go
correct?
ahead. Yes. So go
Okay,
ahead.
so
Roll
we've
the
been doing
status.
that wrong. Okay.
Yeah, roll the status ailment from your character sheet. I'll roll the damage. So amnesia, one of your emo bonds no longer has any effect, as if you had no emo bond with that character. All right. So how many do you have, Ashley?
3.
We'll say I'll roll a d6. 1 to 2, it will be Melissa. 2 to 3 will be Long.
3 to 4.
Or excuse me, 3 to 4 will be Long, and 5 to 6 will be Gabe.
Okay.
All right, so you lose 1 with Melissa.
Okay.
Okay, and then I rolled a 5 on damage.
Cool. Got it. Strategy.
Okay. Moku, you have one Nimpo cost left. If there's any support things you want to use or items that you want to use,
Nope, that should be it.
I think you can trade items too. So if you wanted to try to give her something, you can always do that as well.
Oh, is that a thing?
I know you can do it in drama scenes. I'm not 100% sure in battle, but we'll say yeah.
Okay. Then I will give. Does it cost anything, or can we're just doing this for this? Okay, I'll just
do
I'll give Tina up a life bead.
Okay. So just sort of chuck it at her, and as it tumbles through the raindrops, Tina reaches out and grabs it. And Tina, it is now your turn.
I'm going to use that.
Okay, let's go ahead. Pop the tic tac.
Done.
Okay.
Okay, so I see that, my enemy is kind of not close enough for me to do anything. So I am going to do close combat against Hina.
Okay. Roll it. That's a success. Hidden weapons to dodge there, Hina.
Emo bond. Oh, don't need it.
Okay. But you have it just in case, but you're still good.
Sweet.
Okay, so manage to dodge. Are you doing anything else, Tina? You know that it's just a...
Can I try my thing again, or is it like it wasn't broken, was it?
No, you can do it.
Okay, yeah.
It just means it doesn't go through if it's broken, that's all. But you can try it once around.
Okay.
All right, so
I'll do that again.
So I'm assuming Moku won't break it, but Hina or Morio, do you want to try to break?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
Does she roll first?
No, what was the skill that you
Hidden
used?
weapons.
Hidden weapons. So if you want to break it, roll a hidden weapons check right now. It's a fail from Hina, but a success.
I still failed. I have the crit, right? If I'm damaging it.
Yeah, you're bad.
Yeah.
You're bad at this game. Okay. All right.
Okay, so I hit 1.
Okay.
No,
now
I'm
you gotta
rolling the
roll.
D6.
Yeah. Because it's -3 now, right?
There you go. Look at that.
It is -3 now, but I get to roll.
Should have been doing it the whole time.
I did the first time, and I rolled a 1.
That's a shame. Oh, that's true. And then I rolled
Yeah.
2 ones, I think. Okay. Hina, Morio, you're gonna go next here. You're seeing the cars are getting even closer, and you realize that if something's not done now, you will never, like, once you know that those are government vehicles coming, which can only mean the Hirosaki agency. And once they show up, you know that Tina will have all the reinforcements she needs to take the weapon and drive off into the distance without your clans having any shot at it. So if you have something to do, now's the time to do it. Hina, you're up.
Hina is going to do Vortex of Blood on Tina.
Okay. That is a success.
Success, yep.
Okay. Transformation to dodge. That is a fail.
Okay, so that's 1 close combat damage.
I will let you roll it. So apparently, I'm not allowed to roll die.
No, Ashley can roll.
I know. That's what I said.
D6. So 5.
Okay.
Okay. Already have it, so I can pick another one, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna try my my Ogi again. So am I good to just roll, or does anybody want to try and counter?
I'm breaking.
Okay.
I'll also try.
What's the skill, Ashley?
I did it with. Oh, where did I write it? I did that with possession. Right?
And I'm looking at it right now.
No, I did not.
I don't see it anywhere. I don't know if you typed it out.
Let me pull it up.
I just read the Resident Evil reference. I like it. It's so funny because when I started doing the shadow stuff, I did that before I even looked at your Ogi stuff. And I like how we were basically right in the same, like we were thinking the same thing.
I can't remember what skill I did.
Okay.
for it.
Probably one of your sorcery ones. So pick
Yeah.
so I would imagine. So pick a sorcery one that you want them to do.
I can do either. I'll do possession.
All right, possession. Go ahead. Whoever wants to break it, roll possession. We got a success
Nice.
from both of them, actually. There ain't no way that shit's going through. They've seen your
Roku
tricks. He has. I'm not sure if crit.
I don't think breaking it does anything.
It's super broken.
You may. So
Puppets swallow your black hole of death.
Moku, on a crit success, you can immediately recover 1 life point or recover from 1 single status ailment. So if you have,
I don't know what those are, so
okay. Anything else, Hina?
That's all I could do.
All right, Morio. This is it. This is your last chance to get that dagger back. You got to take her down.
Wait, can I just snag it from the ground because it's on the ground right now?
No, that's just me flavoring it up.
Oh, okay,
It's technically still in her possession.
gotcha.
I am too far away, so I'm gonna Ogi break.
You're gonna Ogi.
Yeah.
Okay. What does your Ogi do again?
It just makes me get that
Okay.
for skill checks I can
The
roll
vortex thing.
10.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So go ahead and roll your survival check then to try to get rid of your heavy
Heck
wound.
yeah,
finally.
let's go.
try and pull that puppet foot out of your eye.
Hey! He
He
passed
did
the skill
it.
check. Look at this guy. He finally did it. Okay. All right. So are you all done? You all set?
And then I retreat or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so basically what happens now is another lightning strike comes down and you can see a third one of those street lamps that are still flickering. So 3 of them now creating a triangle are starting to fold over top with the bulbs that are coming increasingly closer to the puddle where sparks are still sort of magically dancing around it. The rain has started to spread and dissipate around that one specific place, and the actual wrapped up dagger begins to unfold, and you can see it just floating there. And you realize that those sparks that are surrounding it seems to almost be protecting it. And you can see as Morio, knowing defeated at this point, slinks back into the darkness just as the first of the Hirosaka agency cars begins to speed into the parking lot. Hina as well has to recognize at this point that despite the pleas from her grandmother to get this, she finds a careful shadow cast and sort of slips away into it, almost magically disappearing. And Moku taking one last look at Tina as she reaches down and picks up the dagger, the flames dancing around it, allowing her to pass. Maybe a small smile crosses your lips, and you just run away as fast as you can, happy despite the fact that you weren't able to actually acquire it. As the Hirosaki agency cars start to pool around Tina, you see a couple individuals step out dressed in business attire, black umbrellas hovering over top of their heads, rain kind of dissipating and falling down around it. They come over to you, Tina, and they see you there holding this now unwrapped, semi-glowing blade in their hands, and they say, "You have done well. There's an anchor position in Tokyo awaiting you. You have earned some rest. In a week's time, you will begin again." And they take it, they get into the car, and someone escorts you to one of the other cars and puts you in the back seat, no longer in possession of the blade itself, and you drive back with the convoy. That's what we're gonna call it. That went way longer than it should. So
Yay.
very nice. That was fun.
Nice.
Learn
That was
some
very fun.
things. Learn some things. Amazing descriptions, guys. Some of your Ogies were awesome. So good.
Yes.
The puppets, Gabe. I'm gonna have nightmares.
That was
then-
my
Awesome.
favorite.
But then I'm also gonna wake up with a little tear in my eye of sadness. Fan-freaking-tastic. So really quickly, let's just hit your secrets. What were everyone's secrets? We know Gabe, like your secret mission was to basically protect Tina and make sure that she, like you're kind of in love with her and trying to make sure that she could get done what she needed to get done. What about the rest of you?
I was the opposite. I was trying to kill her.
Yeah, exactly. That was the point. It was like you're making sure that the two of you were fighting. What about you, Tina?
So basically, it was to either one of the two conditions. Either Ashley succeeds in keeping God of Mist to the end of the scenario, thus me trying to hand it to you in the mall, or Ashley succeeds in her secret goal or mission.
Okay. And then
Which I did, because my secret was to ensure that any two other characters have a positive emo bond with me, and I had a positive emo bond with 3 of you until the very end, so I have to.
Okay, very nice. So all of you soaking wet, some of you unsuccessful, slink off and find a new mission. Your supervisors come down disappointed, but you get the sense that their threats of removal from the clan were merely motivation ploys as opposed to serious threats. You lick your wounds, especially Morio, who has many wounds to lick, and you live to fight another day.
Ooh, not for Hina. They're ripping her apart and they're gonna put her back together.
What? Okay. So that was a ton of fun. If anyone's actually still around listening, thank you so much for hanging out. We've learned a lot. This is proof of concept. We're gonna try to do more of these periodically. Maybe some more Shinobigami. Maybe some other games here and there. Again, we are Adventures in Lollygagging. That's our podcast. We do an actual play podcast for Zweihander. We're about 30 episodes in. We release every Monday. I also have another podcast called the Lollygaggers Podcast. You can find all this over on thelollygaggers.com. Gabe does stuff for YouTube. Gabe, what do you do for YouTube?
I just do gameplay videos with friends. Like I'm on a fighting game kick right now, so I'm just playing Mortal Kombat. But if you want to come take a look at what I do, Papa Probo on YouTube. And if you care about what I like or any updates on my channel, Papa Probo on Twitter as well.
Awesome. And then Long, Ashley, Melissa, they're all players in the Adventures in Lollygagging game. So you can hear them regularly every Monday. And it's a lot of fun. It's a crazy little long-term story that we're playing, like kind of long form. But that's about it. Thank you for hanging around. Follow the channel if you haven't already, and we'll figure out the next time we're going to do this. Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Later.